Oh, you know what I love?
Sports.
Love sports.
Sports.
When it comes to
Texas A&M.
Where are you getting this information?
Let me tell you.
Welcome to TexAgs.
It's here. It's time. There's always a buzz in the air when you hit this moment.
He is a guy that has gotten better and better and better. He's just got that dog in him.
We will develop men, we will graduate players, and we will win championships on the field.
I think of him as this hawk. Before long, he's going to be swooping in on those quarterbacks.
Coach Elko's my guy, right? Like, I love him. I love Michael Early. Like, I think Bucky's going to be incredible.
It's football, man. And that's what Warriors do. They don't want to sit out.
And this is a real program. It's not fake. This is a real place. And if you want to be really good at football, this is a really good place to be.
You know, if I'm betting on anybody, it's the Aggies.
You know, it was a big thing in the media or on social media about media shouldn't be complaining about their travel. Nobody cares about your travel, bro.
They don't.
But you got home late last night.
Yeah, it was a long day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You get to work until 11 o'clock at night. You get to. It's a, and I know you feel this way, it's a blessing to do what you do.
It is. And so I'm not going to complain too vehemently about travel. Just saying, it was nice to fly into College Station.
Oh, it's the best, bro.
But had I flown into Houston, I would have gotten home earlier because I wouldn't have had the hour and a half layover in Dallas. But
yeah.
Hey, but we're blessed to do the job we're doing.
Yeah. So I want to get into your next road trip. Okay.
All right.
In about what?
About
24
hours, 25 hours. Well, 26 hours. I'll pick up the rental car and
the drive's almost 8 hours.
Yeah,
that sucks.
I'm not going all the way because I'm going. I'm driving as far as Fort Smith, Arkansas tomorrow.
Okay.
Ryan Jones and we will spend the night at the hotel there, and then I think it's about an hour and a half to Fayetteville from Fort Smith, I think. And so, we'll do, and, we've done that all the time. You go to Starkville, you have to stay anywhere but Starkville, right?
Yeah, and you get back 3 hours later.
You go to Auburn.
Yeah.
You're staying either in Atlanta or Birmingham or Montgomery if you're lucky. So we're used to having to make that drive. South Carolina, we're always in Charlotte.
So what's the biggest thing that A&M has to do on the road? Because there's this feeling that A&M has turned the corner. And then you're like, but wait, we've only seen one road game, and it was great. We've only seen one road game, and this is the SEC, brother. So what do we have to see from Texas A&M on the road, regardless of opponent? What has to happen?
Well, I don't mean to sound like a coach.
You can sound like a coach.
But the first thing you have to do, the first thing on the road, especially against the team you should beat, is take care of the football. You can't help your opponent. Because if you give Arkansas, especially at home, a reason to believe they're going to win a game, they might. You got to play a clean football game, take care of the ball, don't help them. And we're going to say this about it almost every game. If A&M doesn't have a lot of turnovers, minimizes their penalties, and doesn't squander any opportunities. I mean, squander opportunities. Hey, you had to turn the ball over on downs because you didn't pick up a 4th and 1, or you missed a couple of field goals or things like that, or you throw an interception in the end zone when you're driving. Right? They'll win because they're a better football team. But on the road, you become the mistakes get magnified on the road.
They do. If A&M does what they should do, right? And again, that question is very difficult to answer because what you should do is not as easy as that, right? But if you do exactly what you said, just don't make those mistakes, I don't know what game they shouldn't win on their schedule.
Well, I think, and I think Schoon pointed this out too, and I agreed with him. I think that when they play Arkansas on Saturday, that the defensive game plan is going to be almost identical to what they did against Florida. Because all the things that TJ Lagway is, a threat to run and, make big plays, things like that, Taylor Green is. The difference is, I think...
Taylor Green's healthy.
Well, that, but also Florida has, in my mind at least, superior receivers to Arkansas. So as long as you keep Taylor Green from beating you running the football, I think you put it on him and his receivers to win to beat
Florida's
your
a better
defense,
team. They have a better offensive line. They have a better defensive line. I think it's TBD if they have a better quarterback.
Well, they got a better coach.
They got
with a better offensive scheme. I guarantee you that. We didn't get to see it, but I guarantee you they have that.
So Coach Elko talking about Arkansas. He's talking about the defense yesterday on the Aggie on the Coach Elko show. He said, "This is a first for me. This is the first time I've seen a defense completely shift gears mid-season. We had to do this one like the opener a little bit and try to identify things from the coordinator's past."
Okay.
Because they completely changed the staff. Now, that staff hasn't had that much time to integrate their system, and we know how difficult that can be. But it is a different look than they were doing when they played a few weeks back.
Interesting. I have to admit, I haven't watched that much Arkansas.
Yeah.
Right? So,
but you can
a coach is going to pick up some of those things that I wouldn't.
Yeah, but you can appreciate the thought, like, look, it may be the same. For instance, when Bronny does this show, he runs it differently than I would, right? Like there are things that are going to be different that you just don't know until you know.
Right. You look for tendencies and what they do. And, of course, Bobby Petrino came on 2 weeks ago and fired the whole defensive staff. Interesting. And maybe they needed it. Wasn't a good defense. I couldn't fire the personnel, right? I'm inclined to believe that A&M should score in the 40s in this game. I know weather might be a factor, so that could keep you from doing that to a certain degree. But Arkansas is basically just, they're not good on defense. I think Memphis beat them 32-31.
Yep. But that was a game that Arkansas should have won.
An SEC team should always beat Memphis.
No, but they were winning.
Yeah, then Memphis just ran a play off to the left side, and their running back outran everybody from Arkansas.
I was talking to my brother Alex on the phone yesterday. He's like, "Dude, I know we're good, right? I know we're 6-0." He goes, "But I don't feel like we're dominant." And I was like, "Alex, you have to understand in the SEC, and tell me if you agree here. In the SEC, all these games are going to look tight. If you look at Arkansas' schedule, you look at a lot of teams' schedule. These games are tight, and then the better team finds their separation typically in the fourth quarter." And that's what A&M has done so far at home.
Yeah, typically. And but I'll say this to your brother, because your brother's on to something there. The reason in so many of these games, not all, but so many of these games, they have not been dominant is because they prevented themselves from being dominant. They ran all over. They moved the ball all over Auburn. You got to. Some of the calls were ticky-tack, but you got to cut down the penalties. They dominated Florida, but you had some missed field goals, you had interception, and they helped Florida stay in the game.
You're right.
Same thing with Mississippi State. They shouldn't have been that close at halftime. Now they got it together in the second half, and to your point, owned the second half and dominated them, but they were in control of that game. A&M's been in control of all three of their SEC games.
Yeah, I don't have the note in front of me, but I believe in SEC play, Arkansas scored 10 second half points outside of this.
Tennessee?
Yeah, before the Tennessee game, which they did all their scoring in the fourth quarter. But apparently in the third quarter, they have been a disaster. They've been out-coached, out-schemed, out-gained, outscored.
Well, I know they scored 35 on Ole Miss. Now, maybe that was all in the first half, and you wonder about, you're saying out-schemed and everything. Now, Bobby is in charge of the offense now.
Yep.
But wasn't he in charge of the offense before?
Yes.
Sam Pittman is not, or was not a Jimbo Fisher type of guy. I don't think he's the type of guy that brings in a guy to be offensive coordinator and then doesn't let him coordinate. Right?
Yeah.
So I would assume that Bobby's been in control of that offense from day one.
Yeah, I agree. By the way, they scored 7 against Ole Miss in the second half. But I think what happens sometimes is your coach says, "This is what I want you to do."
Oh, that's true.
This is our ski. This is the framework you can work in, and then you can do whatever you want here, right? But then when it's your thing, you're like, you know what? I don't have this framework.
Yeah.
My framework is out here, and now we're going to do this.
And that may absolutely be the case, because I've seen I've known offensive coordinators be frustrated with the head coach. Says, okay, no, run it here. Yeah, but I want to run it here. Okay, fine. You're the head coach. But, and I'm not obviously that close to Arkansas. It just, so I could be dead wrong.
Right.
Sam Pittman didn't strike me as that kind of guy. He struck me as the type of guy that says, okay, run this offense. So, I don't know. Maybe you're exactly right on that. Bobby was held down some by Sam Pittman.
Yeah.
But
and I don't know if held down, like, I don't mean that in a negative way, but just like, hey, this is how I want to run our offense. I want us to do this, and on third downs, this is what I want us to do. I don't know. Like, we're not in there. I know that he would have done things differently, Bobby Petrino, if Jimbo didn't handcuff him a little bit here. That I know.
He didn't do anything here.
Well, it felt like it depended on the game. There were certain games that was like, that's a Bobby Petrino called game. Wait, that's a Jimbo called. We could watch it and tell you what was happening.
Yeah. I just know when it was over with, Bobby said, hey, I didn't even know the terminology.
Yeah.
So, look, I'll say this. I've seen Chad Morris coached Arkansas teams that lost to North Texas and Western Kentucky.
Yep.
Play A&M, and it came down to a Donovan Wilson interception with less than 2 minutes to go to secure it, and that was in Dallas. So now you're going to go up to Fayetteville. You know they're going to be excited. It's going to be a party atmosphere up there. There's going to be some rain maybe, and it's Bobby Petrino's first game there as head coach, so it's going to be a tough environment.
Yep.
If you're the number 4 team in the country,
doesn't matter.
Go handle it.
Take care of business. Let me read one more quote because I like this one.
Okay.
Elko talking about what a championship DNA looks like. He goes, we try to spend time in our program talking about what greatness looks like, what championship DNA looks like, and what a championship culture looks like. I'm a big believer, if you want to become something, then you study it.
That sounds like came right out of the David Nuño.
I know. Couldn't you tell that's like my thing?
Yeah.
I love that. That's why he's my guy. We can do another promo at the beginning of the show.
He's
Coach Elko, that's my guy.
My guy. It's his guy.
That is my guy. But look, you don't have to recreate the wheel. Certain athletes and coaches, there's a certain thing that they do. That's why they're different than everybody. They outwork, they outthink. They take time on the little things. And I've had, I don't know how many NIL interviews in here, right? And like yesterday, I had Ashton Bethel-Roman. Like, he was like, Coach kept us longer. We had to, he had to bring us back to reality. Like, we got to remember that this team can score 40 on us like that. That they've been in every one of these games that they've lost. Like, if we make a mistake on the road, we lose. And that is being nailed down every day.
As it should be. And hopefully the message is getting through. It seems like this team is more coachable, right? It seems like it. Now, we don't know. We'll find out. But it seems like it is. And if they are then they're going to listen to that more. I think he from hearing Coach Elko before, last year, I think they tried to give that message before they went to South Carolina, and it pretty much fell on deaf ears. And look what happened.
Well, I also think this is the second year of not only his culture, but of him buying the groceries. He inherited a lot of really good players that I'm sure he would have loved to have had, right? I'm not saying he didn't. But now he is handpicking the guys that fit this culture, and that comes from the transfer portal, that comes from the high school kids that he's bringing in here. Mm-hmm. And another year of doing it the Elko way is closer to being the image that he was brought in here to do.
I agree with all that. And yet, I have to admit, I can break it down statistically, and it's an A&M victory. And yet,
you got to play the game.
I have a certain uneasiness about this game.
It's called, well, I'm not going to even say what it's called. We all have it.
Well, it's not that. It's not.
It's a little bit of that. It's got to be, right?
Because I think, if you want to put the definition of a trap game,
this is it.
This is it.
Thinking about LSU next week, top 10 showdown.
You got a big win last week. Now you're going on the road against a team that has all this motivation. After losing to A&M, 12 of 13 years or something like that, and they're coming back to Fayetteville, and they all think they got cheated on all those games. They didn't lose. We had to play in Texas. Forget that it was in your Arkansas guys' stadium, but we had to play in Texas, so we got cheated and all this. And now we're getting them in Fayetteville, and Bobby Petrino's coaching. Right. We're going to show them, and it's going to save our season. And then you got LSU next week for A&M. There's all that. I mean, if you're looking for the definition of a trap game, this is it.
This is it.
Great teams avoid the trap.
Let me read one more.
All right.
This one, I just like the way it sounds. Okay. This is what you're seeing now is a different wave of D tackles that are a little bit twitchier and have the ability to rush the passer. For us, people don't talk about the level of appreciation we deserve. Since 2018, there's nobody in this league that have had more NFL defensive linemen drafted than Texas A&M. We lead the SEC.
My second article I ever wrote for TexAgs was at SEC Media Days, and it was you say whatever you want and about talent here and the speed. The championship teams in the SEC, look at every one of them. They're strong. They're not just good. They're elite at defensive tackle.
Yeah.
And right now, look, he gets overshadowed, but Albert Regis,
he's been phenomenal.
He's playing at a crazy high level.
Yeah. By the way, OB, tell the people the name of this show.
This is TexAgs Live.
And we are presented by a gem of a human.
Yeah, that would be David Gardner of David Gardner's Jewelers.
Yeah. We're currently in this palatial place that we call
This calls this the Rollo Insurance Studio. Yeah. Jason and Jackson and the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this hour, we've labeled it with a name.
It's the Go Hour.
Because we go.
Yeah, because we go. Yeah. No, don't stop either. Go Hour, brought to you by The Warehouse at CC Creations.
And we're sitting on a platform up high, and we call this
the Holistic Planning Cool Zone.
Yes, that we do. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about holistic planning. They want you guys to know that new clients from TexAgs to sign up before November 27th will receive this offer. If the Aggies beat the Longhorns in Austin on November 28th, clients will pay no management fees to holistic planning for the entire 2026 calendar.
None.
Zero.
Yeah.
By the way,
it's when they beat them.
When they beat them, thank you. Tell the people the phone number. Let's see if you know it.
You mean the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that phone number is 693. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? 979-693-1150.
That is the phone number. You can call us.
Or you can text us.
Yeah, you can do both. It's amazing how technology works.
It is. When it works.
Let's go around the room and say hi to the humans. Behind the glass is our director, our friend Nick Savage. Nick, good morning.
Howdy, good morning, y'all.
Hello.
Howdy. I don't know why we made that so awkward, but
I like when things get awkward on the show.
And I know we've talked about this a little bit, but the forecast, right, it's supposed to be rainy, right? Is that not more conducive for A&M running the ball? That's their strength. That's something they, thrive on. To me, that gives an advantage to A&M, and Arkansas has a fumble problem. They fumble the ball a whole lot. Rain, right? That should lead to more fumbles, right?
No, Arkansas can run the ball pretty well.
Yes, they can.
They can run pretty well.
218.2 rush yards per game, which is more than A&M has averaged.
Here's the way I look at it. It doesn't matter. Indoors, outdoors, cold, hot, a better team needs to go humble a bad team.
Yeah. To me, weather just kind of throws a wrench in it. It's how how do you handle it? But it's just one more thing you have to handle.
Yeah. I was talking to ABR yesterday because we're on the acronym level. He was saying that they were spraying the balls, so they were wet. He didn't know why, and it made sense. Oh, this is why, because it's supposed to rain.
I like that.
Yeah.
Details, being prepared for everything.
Yeah.
No stone uncovered.
Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Alex Schoonover is in the hizzy. Hello, Alex.
Good morning. How are y'all?
Good morning, sir.
Sir, I'm going to start off with a little injury report. It came out last night for the matchup between the Aggies and the Razorbacks. As we all know, star running back Le'Veon Moss will be sidelined with an ankle injury he suffered in the second quarter of the Florida game. And also, tight end Keati Armstrong has been listed as questionable, still dealing with an undisclosed injury.
Yep. By the way, yesterday I got 13 text messages like, hey, bro, what's up? Everybody said, hey, bro. That's what they said, even the ladies. It was weird. Hey, bro, what's up with KC? I heard what Coach Elko said in the coach's teleconference.
He didn't say anything. He said, look at the report on Wednesday.
Yeah. But people took that to mean like, that means we're going to get a bomb dropped on us. Look, everybody's banged up at this point.
Yeah, he tweaked his ankle last week, and he came out of the game, and then he was back in it.
He was back.
If it was that bad, why was he back in? Come on, people. I understand you're waiting for the shoe to drop, but
it hasn't dropped yet, and hopefully it doesn't drop. Scoot over, one more.
I got the Sporting News All-American list came out yesterday for college football. This list included one Aggie offensive player and one Aggie defensive player. Starting right guard Amarje Reed-Adams was nominated on the offensive side of the ball, and then starting defensive lineman Cassius Howe was nominated on the defensive side of the ball.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Alex.
Yep.
Obi, I'm in the mood to stay at the Holistic Playing Cool Zone for another segment. That's what I want to do.
Let's do it.
Let's do 2. Let's go back to back. Also, I'm already thinking about food.
Lunchtime, huh?
Today's Thursday. And on Thursdays, we typically have a couple of options. We've got Buppies sometimes here, right?
Yeah, on a home game day.
And I'm going to talk more about Buppies later, but right now I'm in a barbecue state of mind.
Well, if you're in a barbecue state of mind, and why wouldn't you be? We are Texas, and Texas barbecue is the best in the world, and the best of the best is 1775, just right down the road, on the way to Snook, but not to Snook. It's just on that way.
It's on the way.
Over on the left, a couple of miles out of town, to the left.
You know what this is a true story, not making stuff up, all right? The other day when Elizabeth had her brisket sandwich, she brought it up 2 days ago to me. She goes, "That's the best brisket sandwich I've ever had." I go, "See, I don't lie. I tell the truth, woman."
We don't lie. When we're talking about how good 1775 is, man, that's coming from the heart. It's
coming from your belly.
Yeah, well, that too. In fact, my belly speaks a lot louder than my heart, especially on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, because when I get hungry, my stomach starts growling, and it wants that 1775. I say, "Give me some of that 1775 barbecue. Give me some of that succulent brisket. Some of that jalapeno cheese." That's how my stomach sounds.
Yeah, your stomach sounds a little bit like a mix of Pirates of the Caribbean and Mr. T all at the same time.
That's who my stomach is. My stomach would have a mohawk.
Mr. P. It's 1775, txbbq.com, 979-492-6241.
It's good.
Hey everyone, it's David and Olin from the Holistic Planning
Cool Zone.
I like when we have the chairs here because I don't feel like I have to do this when we're talking about holistic planning. But they want you to know, TexAgs subscribers, they take care of the TexAgs subscribers.
Oh, absolutely. Take care of everybody.
They want to know that anybody who signs up by November 27, 2025 will receive this awesome offer. If the Aggies beat the Longhorns or win in Austin on November 28, 2025, clients will pay no management fees to Holistic Planning for the entire 2026 calendar year.
That's free.
It's free 99. Actually, just free.
All you got to do is beat Texas. Well, it's not if they beat Texas. It's when they beat Texas.
When. And when you go to holisticplanning.com, you're going to love Holistic Planning. So it is holisticplanning.com. Check out the website and take advantage of this awesome offer.
I may not be able to give the stats, but
And we're back. TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. I like Morgan Wallen a lot, but that song I think I've heard too many times.
Yeah, all over
I'll
TikTok.
pass on that.
Yep.
Go Hour, presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. He's Olin Buchanan.
I am. I can't hear anything.
He's having technical issues. I'm David Nuño. My brother sent me a text. He's listening. He says, OB knows ball.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. You got one on your side.
Yeah, finally.
Fine, it's about time. Heisman Watch brought to you by the Shirtlift Law Firm. And Hunter is a friend of our company, and we trust him with our legal needs. Call Shirtlift Law today when you need a lawyer for your business or personal issues. My friend, I'm going to throw you some names.
Okay.
And we're just going to talk about them, okay?
All right.
Here's one for you. Number 5, Trinidad Chambliss.
Again, they weren't great last week against Washington State. They won 24-21. They were down. And Trinidad Chambliss, another solid game from him. He's been excellent ever since he's been in the starting lineup. And he ran in a touchdown late in the third quarter and then threw a touchdown pass in the fourth quarter to bring Mississippi Ole Miss back. Yep. And I don't know his numbers right offhand, but I think he threw again for close to 300 yards.
Yeah, 253.
Yeah. So another really good outing. So he's still this surprising guy that that warrants Heisman consideration.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm curious how long that's going to last, considering what's up ahead for them, and also the fact that there's going to be more film. Because he's kind of an unknown still. Number 4 on the list, one of our favorites, a guy that I'd love to see get to New York, Haynes King.
Yeah, look, you talk about it about to get a little bit more difficult. His schedule is getting more difficult, and he's got Georgia waiting for him at the end of the year. But so far in the games they've played, he just makes the plays to keep Georgia Tech undefeated. I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns last week and a passing touchdown. If I'm not mistaken, because he missed one, the game, they played Gardner-Webb in the second game. He didn't play because of injury. Why risk getting hurt? But that could have been a big stat game for him. But I believe in 5 of the other 6 games they played, he's accounted for multiple touchdowns, like 3. And I think, last week he had 3 again. So he's just the stats aren't going to be eye-popping. His passing numbers are very modest, but when you put in what he does for that team and his running success and getting in the end zone, you have to respect what Haynes King's doing. Yeah.
Number 3, Miami's Carson Beck.
Yeah, they were off last week, and some other guys had really big games, so I moved him ahead of him. I think I had him second last week. He's right in it. Another guy whose stats aren't that overly impressive, but he is making the plays to keep Miami undefeated. He reads defenses well.
When you're a top 3 team and you're a quarterback on a top 3 team, and by the way, Marcel Reed has been on your list before, and he'll hopefully find his way back on the list here soon. Number 2, deserves it. Guano, Fernando Mendoza.
He led them to a victory over Penn State, and then they, had to come back and not have a hangover, and he made some plays late, beat Iowa, and then last week went out and got another big win. Just produces every week.
He does.
And he puts up some good numbers. He's not among the nation's leaders in passing, but once again, this guy's made if not for Fernando Mendoza, as good as that Indiana team, they may be that quote one-hit wonder that everybody thought they were going to be, but he just keeps on. He just keeps playing and keeps them winning.
I heard on Danny and Dusty on my way here today that Penn State really, the 2 real big names there are Matt Rule and Kirk Cignetti, and both those guys potentially could be playoff teams. I don't think Nebraska's going to be a playoff team, but they could potentially both be playoff teams.
Indiana will, Nebraska won't. I'm with you that, yeah. And Indiana, probably the number 1 factor in them being a playoff team is Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's go to number 1 on the list, and that is Ty Simpson, the Alabama quarterback.
I always say, if you've been given the honor of voting for the Heisman Trophy, you have to remove all biases, positive or negative. I'm not an Alabama fan, but you have to watch what Ty Simpson's done in the last, say, 4 games, and he's just been excellent. He threw 3 touchdown passes against Missouri last week. They needed all 3 of them. He didn't run a lot, but when he ran, he was productive. I thought he was excellent. I think he's been excellent the last 4 games, and he deserves it. I think if I had to vote today, I think Ty Simpson would be the guy I'd vote for, and I think he'd win.
All right, OB, we talked Buppies in the first segment. Now we're going to talk about them again because the holidays are coming up, okay?
Yeah.
And if you want it to be catered and be done the right way, actually, my wife and I were having this conversation yesterday. My brother's family and my parents may come for Thanksgiving because, the whole Texas game and, we're still working. So they may come to College Station for it. And we're like, what are we going to do? I think Buppies is the way to go, dude. Turkey, you name it. They'll take care of your holiday needs.
Yeah, they could take care of it. In fact, that would be a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
Than hey, who's going to get the turkey and who's going to do you have enough turkey? Who's going to make the dressing?
There's never enough.
Yeah, but do you have enough room to cook? Like if you have to make 2?
We have 1 oven.
Right. So who's going to make sure the dessert? Do you get the pecan pie? Do you get the pumpkin pie? It's somebody, and I don't know why, but somebody's probably going to want that green bean casserole, which makes me puke. But somebody's probably going to want it. You got to get that. You got to have the mashed potatoes.
Got to have it all. By the way, from whole oven roasted turkey, cornbread dressing, giblet gravy, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, and homemade cranberry sauce with dinner rolls. Who doesn't love a dinner roll?
Oh, I love the dinner roll.
Dinner roll's the way to go.
I want to sop my gravy in that dinner, in that biscuit, in that roll.
Call Buppies at 979-779-6417. Order your holiday feast for Thanksgiving or order ahead for Christmas. It's Buppies Catering and Bartending, and they'll have it ready for you to pick up. Eat, drink, Buppies. Hey guys, David Nuño here to talk about our new partners with EventPipe. They are a leader in hotel booking technology, and now they're giving you a chance to support Aggie student athletes every time that you travel. Thanks to their partnership with United and EventPipe, whether you're heading into a game, a business trip, or family vacation, every room that you book comes with cash back in the pockets of Aggie athletes. That's a wonderful deal. And with EventPipe, you'll get discounted hotel rates up to 20% lower than the major travel sites, while enjoying a fast, easy booking process. They've even created Presto, EventPipe's quick launch booking solution. It lets organizations build branded hotel sites powered by live hotel inventory, making it simple to book the perfect stay. So next time you want to book a trip, do it the smart way with EventPipe and support Texas Aggies NIL through United. Visit their website, tau.eventpipe.com.
All right, we're back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Stephen McGee's in the studio. This is brought to you by our good friends at Paragon Financial Advisors, our QB1 and your financial QB at Paragon Financial Advisors is Stephen McGee, helping you call the right place for your financial future. Mr. McGee, how are you?
Good. I'm just looking at all this slate of games. It's coming up. It's a good weekend, right?
Yeah. They're all going to be pretty good now.
I got a couple texts I want to read to get you to weigh in on, all right? First one is from the Froman and Premium chat on TexAgs.com. OB looking swole, trying to intimidate Nuño. Let's take that.
Swole.
Yeah, swole's a good thing.
Yeah, I know what it means.
Swole.
I just
The
don't
guns
think
are popping out of that duck camp gear, buddy.
Well, it is. It's, you know what? That's what it is. It's the duck camp.
Yeah.
It makes,
good.
like I said, even the only place I look swole is in my gut. I'm swollen.
Hey, and at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center, Scoon, there's a couple texts that came in. Read Ross's and then Brandon.
Okay. Ross, he says, can we stop with the negativity? Aggies are leading the SEC, playing great football. We playing one game away. People are acting like we don't have a good team. Aggies win by 17.
Who's being negative?
Well, maybe someone might interpret some of the things I say as negative when I say, well, this can happen. This is how you lose on the road. But I think you have to respect every opponent and understand that Arkansas is an SEC team, and it is a trap game. This is a definition of a trap game. That's why I think this is really important for A&M to win, to show that you are so good now, so mature, that you can go into, on the road, into all the things we talked about, Bob Petrino's first game as the head coach again in Fayetteville, and all those things that are going on with LSU next week and still go out there and play well and win. And that's a championship team.
Steven?
Yeah, I agree. I think this is a trap game. They're a team that can put up points, and their quarterback has been really good or really bad. And if you catch them on a really good day, they can get you.
Yeah. Let's read one more because I'll give the background to Stephen afterwards. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Brandon. He said, with all due respect to David's brother, if A&M hasn't been dominant, who exactly in this conference actually is dominant?
My brother and I were having a conversation. He's an Aggie. He loves us. And he's like, I love what we're doing. He goes, but I don't think we've been dominant. And one of my responses to him was that exact question. Who has been dominant in the SEC? And also in the SEC, all these games come down to really the fourth quarter.
They do. But that's where dominant teams win. I think we've been dominant in the fourth quarter. I think our defense has been relatively dominant. And when our defense has not been at their best, which I think really for the better part of 3 straight weeks now, they have been phenomenal. They've been dominant. Our offense has been dominant. And so that's complementary football. I think that's what championship teams do. They have the ability to win both offensively and defensively. I feel very confident about this football team because even if our offense isn't at their best, I feel like our defense can win the game for us. So you have different ways in which you can win. It's not like we're going into a game where we say, like LSU right now is probably thinking, to OB's point off air, defense has got to hold them under 20 or we're not going to win, right? I feel like there's any number of outcomes for this A&M football team where you feel like, we can still win that game.
And I was telling earlier, I said, I think A&M, the only thing that has prevented A&M in these 3 SEC wins from being, quote, dominant is A&M. Because in all those games, they controlled the game.
Yep.
The game was always under A&M's control. The problem was you made the mistakes, the penalties, the missed field goals, a couple of turnovers that kept you from just blowing out the other team. And then it made it somewhat competitive into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most optimistic thing about this football team is the best football has got to be in front of them, right? I mean, there's so much potential. And you look at even at each position group, I don't think that we've reached our limit yet on what they can fully do. Sure. And so it makes you think if you put it together for 4 quarters, offense and defense, and I know we don't talk a lot about special teams, they do matter. This is a team that can go up against anybody in the country. Now, in the same breath, you have to be willing to say, you know what, if we do struggle like we've done at times for long periods offensively, not put up points, and their offense gets clicking, we can lose to a lot of people in the SEC. That's the reality of playing in a good football conference.
What did you think about that opening play for A&M, that deep ball to Mario?
I loved it. I mean, it was aggressive. They made a concerted effort, which we've seen a lot of. I think going into this game, I would expect to see a lot of single high man and pressure looks to try to confine Marcel, see if he can answer hot pressure looks, keep him in the pocket. where I don't think he wants to operate, make him make quick decisions, speed up his clock. What they did is play a lot of too high, double 7, double number 1, say, hey, throw it to anybody else, but we're going to double these guys. And on that play, he was doubled, but those guys didn't do a good job executing that double. They both just stood there and kind of looked at each other at 6 yards, and he ran right by them. So a great job by those two guys connecting early. It's a huge momentum shift, in my opinion. Yeah. That answer to that Florida drive, they came out clicking on Florida offensively. I was like, oh my gosh, this is not good. This is not what you want to see Lagway get hot early. That was the exact kind of answer we needed.
I mean, Lagway made some passes that couldn't have been better placed. I mean, there was good coverage, and man, he threw them perfect. I think you're going to see some more plays like that this week. I think from what little I've watched Arkansas, their secondary looks, if I don't want to say slow, but not fast. Okay. I watched the Memphis running back score the game-winning touchdown on a 60-something yard run and just ran away from everybody. Yep. And I'm thinking that you're going to be taking some deep shots with Mario because he's going to outrun them. But I'm also thinking the crossing, I could see some crossing routes, a 10 to 15-yard pass turn into 50-yard gains in this game.
Totally agree. The question is the weather. I'm a little nervous about, is it going to be raining the whole time? Yeah,
Interesting you brought that up. Does bad weather, does rainy weather, I've heard people say two different things. Does it favor the offense or the defense?
I wholeheartedly believe it favors the defense.
See, and I've heard the offense because when you know where you're going.
Yeah, but the problem is the quarterback's got to get the ball to the wide receiver. We watched Connor Wigman, and I get it. I know what everybody's going to say, struggle to throw a pass against the University of Massachusetts, and that was a much closer game because it was wet. He has small hands. Look at your Heisman leader right now against Florida State. They would have, in my opinion, won that game had it not been pouring rain. Couldn't get the offense going. To me, I do not want a wet football. Troy Aikman, same deal. He hated wet footballs.
Hey, I don't understand this Caleb Williams, Troy Aikman thing. You guys paying attention to the whole thing or no?
I'm not. I don't think Caleb Williams is very good.
I think Troy made a comment about him getting lucky on a game-winning touchdown or something.
Probably.
And I don't know. I've been seeing a lot on social media. I didn't know the background other than that.
I haven't.
I'm sure somebody gave an honest opinion, and you're not supposed to give honest opinions about certain players. So that's probably what it was.
Hey, before we hit a break, Taylor Green, what have you seen from him on film?
I mean, I hate to say this or make this. He reminds me a little bit of Vince Young in that he's tall, big guy, likes to use his legs. I'm not saying he's Vince Young. Don't hear that the wrong way. But that kind of a player where he can make some throws, but I think he's limited in the throw game. But he makes enough every week to where it kind of scares you, right? I mean, he's that kind of a playmaker. You allow him to get outside the pocket. I think what you got to do with Taylor Green is confine him to stay in the pocket. You pressure, you stay sound in your gap lanes. You have a spy guy that keys off right when he tries to trigger out of the pocket. And then just make him make tight window throws. I would expect us to play a lot of single high man, similar to what I talked about earlier with Marcel Reed.
All right, let's hit a break here. We'll come back with a little buy, sell, hold. Right now we're talking Rollo Insurance when insurance matters most. Who's going to answer your call? And that's the Rollo Insurance Group. You get a personal agent with a direct number, not a call center, not an automated system. They are the official insurance provider of TexAgs Live, and the difference is absolutely real. They've got 60 offices in the great state of Texas, but their headquarters is right here on Highway 6 in College Station. Whether it's home, auto, or business or ranch insurance, you want to start a relationship with an expert who's going to put you first, and they're going to know your specific situation. When you need advice or have a claim, you'll speak directly with someone who knows your situation directly. Visit RolloInsurance.com/TexAgs, RolloInsurance.com/TexAgs, or call them up 888-44-ROLLO. That's 888-44-ROLLO.
All right, guys, let's talk about some new partners, Aggieland Hydration and Injectables. They're Aggie owned and operated. They are an mobile IV hydration company that was founded back in 2024. I met with Sheldon and Danny over the last week, and they're awesome people. They really know what they're doing. They're proud to serve Bryan College Station with awesome services like IV hydration, Botox, and even some weight loss options. Whether you're looking for a quick boost of hydration or dehydration preventative, they can tailor an IV cocktail specific to your needs. and on a busy week. And I know some of you guys might be partying a little bit too much. If that's the case, an IV can be one of the easiest ways to ensure you're receiving all those necessary vitamins and minerals to make you feel better. Their overall mission is to bring a more personalized and accessible wellness option to the broader range of clientele here in the Bryan College Station and Brazos Valley area. To book an appointment or inquire about it, just call them up or text them. 979-217-1561. Again, it's Aggieland Hydration and Injectables. Check them out. It's our friends at Aggieland Hydration and Injectables. We're back here on TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. The Go Hour presented by the Warehouse at CC Creations. Time for a little buy, sell, hold with Stephen McGee, brought to you by Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. If you want financial guidance that truly puts you first, visit paragon-adv.com. All right. Very simple Maroon Kool-Aid version of the game, all right? Best thing Elko has done this year. I'll give you three options. You tell me. Fix the defense, wins in the portal, or win on the road, which there's been one.
Wow, that's a good one. And I know where I lean. For me, it's been the defense. This is you can't play at championship level without a good defense. I firmly believe that. And I know defense, the criteria for a great one is a little bit different nowadays. It's more about getting stops, creating turnovers, getting your offense the ball back. You're going to give up yards. But there is a noticeable difference in our defense, and the play calling on that side is phenomenal. I mean, you can just see the pressures that we create because of a guy that understands football, how to break down their pass protection. The portal, though, you can't underestimate the impact of these two wide receivers and their impact on this offense. These guys are as good as I can remember, just making plays, getting open, getting it done. It's a threat.
I'll even throw in last year's portal additions, right? Cassius Howell, who's playing at a ridiculous level. Marcus Ratcliffe. There's others, right? They've all been. Dayon Hayes got SEC player, the defensive player of the week. There's been a lot.
Where was Hayes from?
Colorado.
He's a good player.
From Boston College to Colorado to A&M.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
What are you taking?
Fix the defense. I think before the year started, we were saying, look, A&M's going to average 31 to 34 points a game. We're probably underselling them there.
Yeah.
The question was always going to be defense. And now defense looks strength. So that's, number one. That's what you buy. I think holding on the whole transfer portal.
Yeah.
Bringing in those two receivers has made a complete difference. Now, I could have said sell that too, because you had some success in the portal last year, and you still didn't win on the road. But because of of those portal additions, because they did win on the road, and I don't know if you noticed that Mario Craver had a pretty big impact in that Notre Dame
By
game.
the way, I forgot to mention Nate Berkshire has been a big addition. He's been huge for this team.
He really has.
He's done a great job in the portal.
He's done,
and they'll get to substantiate the road wins here. They're going to have their opportunities coming up. Arkansas, Missouri, LSU, all coming. They'll get to prove that, and then of course ending in Austin.
I'm not going to say who it was against, but I had a bet with somebody. I'm not going to say who it was because I don't want anyone to think that there's people out there that are anti-A&M. But it was for 8 wins.
Okay.
Was that with me? Was that me? God, it's looking good.
I might get there before November.
Love to see it. Hey, that's called a victory tax in my world. Okay. Gladly pay that because they always hammer.
I really wasn't going to. I wasn't going to mention you. I didn't want anybody mad at
It's
you.
all right. I'd like to own up to my faults here, man.
Your smile said it. Your smile said it all.
Yeah, it did. I was thinking about 8-4. What does A&M have to do to go 8-4? We got Samford in the bag.
I don't even want to think about this.
So that means we go 1-4 in SEC play. We're 8-4. Doesn't seem likely. I feel really good about 9-3 or better. Do you feel good? Just say you do. Please.
I feel good about.
Thank you.
I feel good about 11-1.
We haven't mentioned Moss not being there for a little while.
Yeah, and look, you asked me 3 weeks ago, I would have said that's a big issue. I'm not downplaying it at all. I think it is an issue. He's a great football player. That is a position of depth for us. When you add in Morrow, the young freshman, this dude can get it done. I think he's getting more experience. Daniel's being a really good third down back, but Ruben Owens has stepped up. I mean, that 140-yard week he had previous, I think it builds confidence, and we know he can get it done. We have good backs.
By the way, Alex had a question for us. Is there time to get it in?
It's very detailed.
All right, we'll do it with Swope on the other side. All right, OB, thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Stephen, you're going to stick around for another segment. All right, let's do this. Let's do caller number 12, 979-693-1150. We're going to hook you up with your choice of a dozen pepperoni rolls or a large one-topping pizza from Double Dave's. They've been serving Aggieland since 1984 with your favorite pizza and, of course, those world-famous pepperoni rolls. Reliable in-house delivery, bringing piping hot goodness straight to your doors. Just click on doubledaves.com and your favorites are on their way. We are back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers, Rollo Insurance Studios. Stephen McGee and Ryan Swope on the show. What up, Swopey?
Hey, how we doing?
Good. This is brought to you by Duck Camp. Whether you're gearing up for a hunt, a fishing trip, or just trying to survive September in College Station, Duck Camp's got you covered. Check it all out at duckcamp.com. Built for the outdoors and designed for everything else. Another segment where we start off with text messages. People are very chatty today, okay?
Well,
so
that's good.
Let's go to Alex Schoonover at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. We had a deep one and then like a kind of a little
funny one from Elizabeth and Temple.
Let's go with Elizabeth first.
All right, so Elizabeth and Temple says, title for today's show on YouTube, upset alert, combined with talk about a trap game, could be perceived as negative talk. My concern is the weather.
So one of the people earlier, Ryan, said that, somebody's been negative on the show. I hope we're not negative, but we're super excited. I think A&M's going to win by double digits, but I think this is one of those kind of games that, like, the fact that they changed head coaches, right, and it's Bobby Petrino, the fact that they fired their defensive staff, the fact that it's Bobby's first game at home, the fact that the weather could be bad, all those reasons, I don't want to say they're on upset alert, but I just want them to be on point going on the road because they haven't been on the road since the Notre Dame game.
For sure. No, I think that there's I think we can win this football game. I really do. I think we've got all the I think, one, we can outcoach him. I have full faith in Coach Elko.
Yep.
And so we're going to win that battle. And that's huge. I mean, if you can win, Elko's going to go dice it up, be aggressive, put some pressure on the quarterback. I feel good about that. Now, you throw some weather in there. We hadn't really seen that this year. Offensively, I'm not sure. What do you do? Do we attack a struggling run defense? Arkansas hadn't really been able to stop the run. So do we just tote the rock? Obviously, losing Le'Veon hurts, but we still got to allocate those carries somewhere. And I think Reuben Owens, I think you were saying it just a second ago, it's one of the deeper rooms that we have. So I think, it hurts, obviously, losing Le'Veon, but not like it did last year because we have so much depth in that room. But yeah, I mean, for sure, if we don't come to play and we don't bring our lunch pail, we could get beat. I mean, it's the SEC. So I definitely think that, you've got to show up every single week in this league or else you're going to get beat. So I think they're a good football team. I think we're a better football team.
One thing on the road is the environment. And if it's rainy, you got a team that's already fired their coach. How many people even show up to the game? Right?
Yeah.
You've seen some stadiums. Have you seen Oklahoma State Stadium?
Yes.
I mean, it's not like it's bad, but I mean, that's not an environment that you would necessarily describe as hostile. And so maybe we have that going for us. It's not as loud. It's more playable. Obviously, the weather being a concern in this regard. Just playmakers holding the ball. I mean, it's a ball could pop out. It normally wouldn't, right? I mean, they get a helmet on a ball and it's wet and boom, it flips the game, right? They stay in it where we could have blown them out. So that is a concern.
Did you hate playing in rain?
Hated it.
Like a wet football and
hated it.
Yeah,
it's the worst.
Sucks.
Yeah, it's tough. Like
everything's slippery. Like you can't run routes. You can't. It's just So they're definitely. I think that's in favor for Arkansas, if anything.
Why is it in favor for Arkansas?
I mean, they're at home. Actually, we played Arkansas. They came to Kyle Field in 2012, and it was raining that game, and we absolutely dominated them. 4 quarters of football. And so, I mean, you go into that environment, you got to be ready. Those fans are going to be rowdy, and it's not 110 degrees, so it's a little bit more comfortable for the fans. So I think it definitely favors them a little bit just because they're at home. And so we'll
what is
see.
that thing they say? Is it
Pig suey?
What does that mean? Is that if you own a pig, is that how you call them? Because that's not what a pig sounds like.
Did somebody Google that information for us?
What does pig suey mean? I've always wondered.
Schoon, read us the next text while you search for that answer.
Okay, so the next text is from Will in Rosenberg. Very detailed question. He says, "Question for the guys: our defense is starting to look like an elite unit on their way to earning wrecking crew status. How long would they need to maintain the level of play and production of the last 3 games before you would say they've earned that moniker? After the 3 road games, regular season, or a playoff win or 2?"
Oh, the wrecking crew moniker?
Yeah.
I'm. This is a different era of college football. We act like it's the Heisman Trophy we're giving. A&M is the wrecking crew. That's who we are. Now sometimes we don't live up to that.
Right.
We have absolutely lived up to it this year.
100%. Well, especially in the last 3 weeks. They've gained their footing. Cassius Howell off the edge. Hayes adding these guys in. Onyedem up front. But how about Damian Sanford? No one's really talking about this dude. This guy's balling.
Every game there's a play that you're like, oh, that's a game changer.
Yeah, and I thought Torian York, really the last several weeks too, is starting to blossom. I mean, they've really come into their own. And then, on the back end, like last week against Florida, we gave up some plays. But if you look at those, I mean, our guys are right there. I mean, they're just making great throws and catches. And so I think this defense is playing at a high level at all three levels, which is exciting.
Yeah, for sure. I think our season really, we're going to be tested right now going on the road for the next 3 weeks. It's going to mold who we really are. I think I'm fully confident in this football team. I think we've got a really good team. Mm-hmm. I was listening to some of the press conferences earlier on in this week, and I feel like these guys are just saying the right things. And that's a testament to Coach Mike Elko about preparation. I mean, they keep talking about preparation, how Mike Elko has these guys ready to go Monday through Friday. And then they go out there on Saturday and they play free. That's key. And honestly, I've been to a couple practices, and you can see their practice skills and their practice habits. It's rolling over for them on Saturday.
On game day.
Yeah, and they're just figuring it out, and that's huge.
So I hate to repeat myself so often on the show, but I'm going to say something to you guys that I've been saying. The reason this year feels different to me than last year is when they were 7-1, OB and I would be sitting right over there talking about like some areas of like, yeah, they're winning, but they can't tackle. Yeah, they're winning, but they give up these huge plays. And that was always like my concern last year. I am not saying that this year. They gang tackle. The comment you just made a moment ago about Des Ricks when he was being targeted, I thought for the most part, he had really good coverage. It was a perfect pass and perfect catch, right? Yeah. And they adjusted, and they've adjusted this year. There's been this chess match going on that Coach Elko at halftime has figured out against Notre Dame, against Mississippi State, against Auburn, against everybody.
Yeah, they really have. Elko is a magic worker on defense. I love to watch this guy, dude. It's just he puts stuff out there that is a nightmare fuel for a quarterback. And you watch it, and if you ever watch one of these games and rewind, you just pause it pre-snap. If they ever show the behind view of what the quarterback sees from a protection perspective, and then how they're making quarterbacks throw hot and get pressure on the QB. It's one thing to throw versus man-to-man coverage with nobody around you, but when you got bodies all around you and the potential of a guy coming off the edge, that tight window throw you have to make in man-to-man becomes infinitely harder. There's a perfect look at one there.
Yeah.
Swope would have devoured man-to-man coverage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can you imagine him on an option route? Just destroying them. Hey, you run 10 dog, it's over. But
you got to win man coverage, man. That's what it comes down to.
Here's an unfair question to ask. Who's been the best player on the roster this year?
Oh, gosh.
And the reason I ask that is I think it just speaks to the way this team is playing because there isn't an easy answer A, and they do play such complementary football.
Are you talking about defense or offense?
Whatever, because that's what makes it hard.
I'll go on a limb, and maybe because I'm biased, I'm not going to say one guy. I'm going to say just the receiver room in general. I think it's made a huge difference. It was a spot that we've been missing for a long time, and now that we have a couple stallions that can go out there and run.
Yeah.
I mean, you throw in obviously Bussy the mix and some other guys, some other young cats that are showing up. Then we've got some good tight end play that are making some good third down conversions for us.
And beating Notre Dame.
Yeah. Bottom line is I think that was our biggest missing piece to the puzzle of having explosive playmakers. Because you throw a bubble screen to Mario Craver, feel confident.
Yeah.
We can do that all game. Or we can go throw it to 7, across the middle.
Do you remember
He's
that
going to
play?
come up with it. He's going to go make a play. So, and I love 7. The dude wants the ball every single time.
He does.
I mean, he wants to go catch punt returns, and he wants to take it to the house because he thinks he can.
Still doing it.
I know he's still out there doing it. You love to see it.
What I love about what you're saying is the way this team also answers. So let's not forget the Florida game is fresh, right? So we remember how they answered first
100%.
play Mario. But also remember Mario against Notre Dame. That game was dangerously close to feeling like, what's about to happen? We're about to go down 10-0, 14-0. and then that Mario Craver, Mario Brothers, I was about to say, but Tecmo Bowl play where he can't be tackled and he spins around and takes it to the house. Like, this team finds ways to answer momentum shifts.
100%.
Yeah, that's the narrative is flipped, right? I mean, how often last year do you feel like we just didn't have an explosive playmaker, right? And so to Swope's point, I mean, that is the biggest single change, I feel like, offense, defense, special teams, whatever, is that you got guys that are a threat, right? Every down. I mean, you saw Florida. Have you ever seen a team go into a football game and say, hey, we're going to double 2 wide receivers every single snap they're out there? I mean, that's
wild.
That's
a testament how good they are.
Yeah.
So let's say they do that. Okay, I don't feel like A&M really was able to maximize that, but that's a really good defense. In theory, that should leave a tight end open. It should leave more space for the running back. It should leave Terry or somebody else, right? That should open up a lot more avenues for ABR.
Well, less eyes in the backfield.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, and then what does it do? It opens up the run game. And so you can just lean on the run game, pound it, win the line of scrimmage. You're going to win football games doing that.
Yeah, you just take 2 guys deep and you just remove 4 guys from the box in the run game. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, too. You don't even have to block them. Just take them off downfield. But, yeah, I mean, it did open them up, to your point. It's, remember the sail route to Morrow out of the backfield, a little 7 cut for a tutty, and then you got the tight end on a wheel route down the boundary, Berkature for a big play. And on both of those instances, you saw that the guys were doubled above him, and it opened up the underneath coverage. And so that's the perfect example of the difference. I mean, that's a wide open wide receiver right there. They're confused.
This kid's gonna be good, dude.
He's a baller, man. Yeah. Morrow can do it, man. And you know what's funny? Everyone talks about him. I mean, I'm always skeptical when someone says, "Oh, it's inevitable. It's probably Coop." Coop's like, "Oh, dude, this guy's gonna be all world." Coop's my boy. He knows I love him. And you're like, I don't know. Like, we've heard this a million times. This dude seemingly has lived up to the bill. He's been I'm glad we have him. We need him. And then you throw in Amari Daniels too. Let's not forget about him. The importance of that guy to me is on third down, where you have a back that's a veteran that they trust in pass protection. When you do get those confusing looks, this guy's going to know who to block, so you don't get that huge sack fumble.
Guys, I want to also bring this back to this. So I'm concerned about Le'Veon not being there. Obviously, he is so important. You saw the difference. He had 5 carries, 40-something yards last week. But I think we know what Amari is, right? Mm-hmm. And Amari helped this team significantly last year. E.J. Smith, I have way more confidence in him now than I did a year ago. A year ago, around now, I was like, I don't know. And then he started showing me something at the end of the year, and he showed me something this last game. And Morrow. And speaking of Ruben, you didn't have him last year. Even in the bowl game, he wasn't Ruben just yet. He didn't have great numbers against Florida, but he took a lot of those carries. And what did he do against Mississippi State? So my point is, you have a lot more options at this point now than you did last year.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, that running back room is, it's deep. It's deep, and they're good. And I like that you got one guy that can tote the rock, and he's a force to bring down. And then you got another guy that can catch the football out of the backfield. I mean, you don't see that a lot these days. Guys being able to catch the football out of the backfield, and that's dangerous, man. That's like having another receiver back there. And it just creates problems for defenses.
Yeah,
honestly.
It's a team that has learned to get the job done in the fourth quarter when it matters. Like when you're got 20 minutes left on the clock, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to devour a quarter of a HEB cake. You know what I mean? And everyone's texting, "Can it be done?" Right? Like, can this guy get the job done?
I already know what's happening.
David!
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Wow. Cake in my mouth for those on the radio. A check being presented to me. For decimated macros. There we go. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much. I think we got to keep this up today.
You're a cake unit, and we're going to get the Hall of Famer to endorse
this.
Let's
put it back here so that people can see it. Maybe stand it there. Thank you, Kev. No.
Just an absolute.
A little higher so people can see it. I don't know if they can see it.
You should hold it. Just the entire
the whole
segment.
show. Stay up. How much did you pay me for that?
Hard pass.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Before we bounce for the segment, when you look at the SEC standings, all right, guys, there are legitimately like 10 teams that feel like right now they have a chance to be in Atlanta. Have you ever, Big 12, Southwest Conference, whatever, like seen, this is ridiculous. Like, look at all these teams. Ole Miss feels like they can be there. A&M, obviously. Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee. Tennessee's about to play, so we're about to find out about that. Missouri, Vandy, Texas. Like, all those teams feel like they have a chance to be in Atlanta. Texas is not out of it. It felt like they were out of it. They're not.
Yeah, they have a favorable schedule where Oklahoma does not.
Yeah.
And yeah, Oklahoma seems not as good as what we probably thought after last week. But Ole Miss, every football team, trap game last week.
Yeah.
And I think, though, every football team has to learn to win those games.
Yeah.
We talked about that a little bit earlier. And that's where A&M has found a way to win those games when you're not at your best, right? And maybe it's a matchup thing. Maybe it's the weather. I don't know what it is. You got to win an ugly one. And so they did it. They proved that they could do that. I think there's still question marks out there. Every one of these football teams, it's not a slam dunk. And that's the exciting thing about it. For A&M, very favorable schedule. But now you're going to get to find out a lot more about this football team. The hardest part of the schedule, I think, is coming.
Yeah, no doubt. To carry on what he's saying, you got to go in. You got to take advantage of these road games. It's going to be a mental test. But, man, I've got full faith in Coach Elko right now. I think he's going to have these players ready to play.
All right.
I agree.
So of those teams that we just talked about, who are ones that you're like, it ain't going to last? Because I think Texas, because of their schedule and what they showed me defensively last week, and I think Arch is showing progress, they're still going to be around.
I think they will be, unfortunately.
Vandy?
I don't think Vandy will last.
Missouri, no.
Tennessee?
Tennessee's a question mark for me. I thought at the beginning of the year they were going to be good, but then I've kind of fallen off a little bit, right? Or
no, I'm with you. They came out firing.
This is a big week for them to prove it, right? Whether or not they belong, playing Alabama.
I think Ole Miss will be in the conversation. I think they're a good football team.
I think their schedule plays out that way.
They're well coached.
Georgia?
Georgia will find their way into it, whether it requires a referee or not. I don't know. I don't feel like they're like the
but
same
it's Georgia.
but they know how to win football games. You got to tip your hat to them. They find ways to win, whether you like it or not. Yeah. LSU, though, they're a hard team to beat. I will promise you that. And going to Baton Rouge, going at night, scares me to death. I know we're looking way out front, but I wouldn't sleep on them. I don't think they're going to be in the conversation. I really don't.
I don't either, but I think going to Baton Rouge is just, we know, like there's a reason A&M hasn't won there in forever.
I'm not looking forward to going to Missouri. Like, I think that Missouri's a beatable football team. Don't hear this the wrong way, but they run the football. They have a quarterback that wants to run the football. That's a tough place to play.
They got a pretty good defense.
They got a pretty good defense.
Yeah.
I think we can take care of business, yes, but the scary thing is if you're not at your best, you slip up and lose one.
What did you think of Arch Manning? You think he's getting better?
I thought in the second half he started to settle in and make some throws. Look, I do feel somewhat bad. I get it's a business now. These kids are getting paid a lot of money, so there are no more feelings anymore. Like, it is what it is. It's like the NFL, right? You either do it or you don't. But he's still 20 years old, 21 years old, and I think he's a much better football player than what he's shown.
Yep.
And I think there's a lot of head games going on. There's a lot of distraction. And
his offensive line's terrible, too.
Offensive line's terrible. He doesn't have the same playmakers they had last year. But I think he'll settle in and be okay. I'm not saying he's elite yet, but I think he can be a good player.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate you,
man.
When it comes to preserving your farm or ranch's legacy, it's not just about capturing those pretty pictures. It's about leaving that story for the next generation. Heritage Films and their new branch, Farm and Ranch Films, understands what really matters, transferring the values that you built your operation on to the generations that will inherit it. Chance McClain and his team have done a wonderful job telling people stories, and they've expanded their efforts now to tell the family business story, the family ranch story, and of course your grandfather, your grandmother, whoever it may be in your family, making these 2-hour documentaries that will last for generation after generation. If you haven't thought about it yet, you need to pause and really think about it, because you are not promised tomorrow. Your family's not promised tomorrow. Farm and Ranch Films captures the wisdom your grandkids are going to need. Visit the website, yourheritagefilm.com, and click on the Farm and Ranch section of the website, 713-893-8341, to preserve just not your story, but your family's foundation. Is Heritage Films. I wish I had Olin here for it, because he loves energy drinks. Catalyst Citrus Spark. This is one of the new flavors out there. Whether you're grinding through workouts, cramming for a test, or closing in on a deal, or getting ready for TexAgs Live, you never know, right? Fast becoming the go-to fuel for Aggies everywhere. Zero sugar, I'm all in for that. Or synthetic sweeteners, no artificial colors or flavors. Catalyst delivers clean, high-performance energy with smooth, crisp taste that is never syrupy, designed for both health and hustle. You want to get going? You use this Catalyst right here. It's about pure energy and pure results. And what sets them apart? Packed with premium nootropics blended to boost focus, clarity, and mental stamina. I need this. I'm in, guys. I'm in. Plus, with plant-based caffeine, vitamin B12, B6, Catalyst supports metabolism and energy production, making it more than a drink. It's your lifestyle training partner. Built for competitors on the field, Catalyst fuels strength, focus, and pure results. Buy now at drinkcatalyst.com. That is drinkcatalyst.com. Train harder, think sharper, pure results. It's Catalyst. All right, we're back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Time for Around College Football, brought to you by Milliken Reserve, a College Station community featuring homes, farms, and wide open spaces with a mission to build a healthy community around nature. Take part in the Milliken Reserve community with a Conservancy membership. Learn more, MillikenReserve.com. We go to the Buppy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. That's where we find our guy, AT, Aaron Torres from Aaron Torres Online, and of course, Fox Sports Radio. What up, AT?
David Nuño, what's up, buddy? Happy College Football Thursday, Week 8 Thursday. How are you?
I'm good, man. Just wanted to start things off with, all right, Le'Veon Moss goes down last year when he went down for the Ags. things went south. Feels different this year. Do you agree?
I think to a degree it does feel different. And, obviously, unfortunately, that was my first thought as well when I saw the news. I was watching the game, but then the news come out afterward. It does feel different. I think this is a more complete team, a more mature team. I mean, I think I used the word complete when discussing the Aggies, about 7 straight times last week when we were discussing them. Was last year the year that Ruben Owens was out last year, right? I know he had a season-ending injury 1 year. So that's part of it. Why I said it sort of feels different, I think the only thing for me is that last year, I know that A&M had a big win early at Florida, but it did feel like the back half of the year without Le'Veon Moss. But when you went on the road, that's where some of the struggles began. Obviously, last year it was at South Carolina, at Auburn. And this year, listen, I think the only thing that you cannot say about the Aggies, they had that great win at Notre Dame, so that you certainly could say they've been on the road and are road tested. But, to have 3 straight in the SEC against what we now know are 3 not very good teams, I do think that's the part that, to me, we still have to see is, can you beat the good teams on the road? I don't know that necessarily starts this weekend with Arkansas, but I'll tell you this, man, Arkansas can put up points and move the ball. And if you don't come out ready to play, they're gonna be able to put up points on you quickly.
Well, I agree with everything you said. I think Mississippi State isn't a bad team. And Florida, that's a hard one for me to say because I think talent-wise, they're legit good, man. And if you look at who they've played, so they're not top 10 team, obviously, but I just think that's a hard one to match up with. And, I think you have some intel that Billy Napier probably won't be around next week.
Well, yeah, a couple things on Mississippi State. It's all relative, right? They're probably one of the top 30 teams in the country. I don't think they're a top half of the SEC team, though. But what I will say, and we'll get to Napier in a minute, and I think you and I have talked about this over the previous few weeks, is that I remember talking to you in August, David, about the schedule and the need to win on the road. All of a sudden, listen, Texas doesn't look unbeatable on the road, and LSU certainly doesn't look unbeatable even on the road. I know that's a night game next week, whatever, but listen, I'll just say this. I don't think LSU can move the ball at all. And I think Texas looked good last week, but we'll see if they can sustain it over the next 6 weeks. As far as Napier is concerned, yeah, man, listen, a lot of people are reporting it. I'm just kind of tagging on to the reports. You know me, I'm not any insider. I don't want to be the first to break news. I want to get it right. But, we all have sources in this industry, and I did put out on social media yesterday. I, like many people in the media, have heard, and from credible people at Florida, I think they expect it to be Billy Napier's last game. The irony, Trey Wallace, who I know you know from Outkick, brought it up. Jimbo Fisher, of course, was fired after a win over Mississippi State. I don't know if Florida's going to win. But for people wondering why now, why not just do it, after A&M or whenever? Well, I think Florida's known they're going to do it probably since the South Florida game in week 2. But the first bye kind of came at the 4-week mark. We know about the 4-game redshirt rule. That's why, frankly, I think that allowed him to keep his job through this bye. But whether you're whatever it would be 3-4 or 4-3 going in, I guess they could be 2-5 in theory. So whether you're 2-5 or 3-4, listen, it's year 4. That the loss last week in College Station, 0-14 against ranked teams away from Gainesville. It's time. It's been time. I think the 4-game redshirt rule maybe bought him an extra couple weeks. But yeah, I would be surprised if the next time Florida takes the field, which is that Halloween weekend game against Georgia, if Billy Napier was still the head coach.
What was your take on Kirby, timeout gate, referee gate, the whole thing that happened between Georgia and Auburn?
I thought it was an atrocity. And the one thing I'll say is this, a couple things. The ACC, I don't know when or where or why, but if you've watched any ACC games this year, and I know a lot of people probably haven't, they actually have started doing this thing where they go into the replay studio, and you can hear the communication between the ref in the stadium and the replay, group in the league offices. I love that. I think the SEC needs to implement it immediately because, first of all, with the Jackson Arnold play, I will admit I actually think it was the wrong call. But I also think, and this is the gift and the curse of replay, is that when you call it on the field, like let me put it this way. The Jackson Arnold touchdown, I think if it's called on the field a touchdown, I don't know if they have enough to reverse it. And so conversely, I don't know that they had enough to reverse it the other way either. I just bring all this up to say I thought it was the wrong call, but I can see the argument where it was called a fumble on the field. They didn't have enough video, evidence to overturn it. As far as the Kirby thing, I mean, I think that's an embarrassment and an atrocity. And you can say, oh, he claims he's clapping or whatever. But, I think everybody had the same take on that. And I'll say this really quick as well. I think the SEC for a second time in 3 weeks, they owe Hugh Freeze and Auburn a public apology. And I think it largely got swept under the rug because of the James Franklin stuff. I mean, I do my Sunday show, Sunday before the NFL games, probably about 11 Eastern time. And that was all anyone was talking about. And then by about 3 or 4 that afternoon, James Franklin is fired, and that's all anybody is talking about. So I just bring it up because to me, I thought that the league got a solid by James Franklin being fired and that kind of taking the oxygen out of the conversation in college football. And then conversely, I don't understand how the league has not commented on the Kirby Smart timeout, because either a timeout should have been called, it should have been a delay of game. Georgia shouldn't have been able to just pick up where they left off without the timeout being called. So I thought at minimum, the league owed them an apology on that. I think Auburn fans have every right to be frustrated. And, at some point, though, you do have to put the ball in the end zone. And I also see the people and understand the people that say, listen, it was 10-0 when that call went against your way. You didn't score from then on out. Some of that is on Auburn as well.
I got about a minute left. Just give me the ripple effects, if you will, of the James Franklin firing, how you think it all plays out at Penn State.
Well, the Penn State part is actually, to me, the most interesting part because I don't how many coaches can you really get that you can definitively say are definitively going to be better or even definitively going to have the fan base fired up, right? Like even Matt Rule, he's a Penn State alum, but that record against ranked opponents looks a little similar to James Franklin. So maybe it will work out. I think there's a possibility they regret it, though. I'll be honest and I'll be quick here, David. I know we got to go. I actually did think it was a little overreactionary. I understand Drew Aller's hurt. You're probably not going to get better this year. If you finish 7-5, 6-6, maybe you have to make a move. But maybe, he leaves on his own in the middle of November or in November, excuse me. So I thought it was a little overreactionary, and I'm just curious, can they get a candidate that actually gets the fan base fired up? Because I think it sounds great that you fire him because he can't get over that 10-win hump. There's a lot of guys that can't get to 10 wins, period. So we'll see what happens in the coming days with that.
AT, I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks so much.
No problem, David. We'll talk next week. Thank you.
Later, brother. Aaron Torres on the Bubby's Catering Bartending Hotline. We'll hit a break, and we'll come back with Steve Denton. He'll be here in studio. Brazos Running Company located at Century Square. I'm actually going to go there tomorrow to pick up my packet for a triathlon I'm doing this weekend. That's a humble brag. I don't mean it that way. I just like the Brazos Running Company. It's where you get your shoes. Your local Aggie-owned, operated specialty running store with an incredible selection of running gear and shoes, including the brands like Brooks, On, Hoka, you name it. They got it all. If you're a runner or you're interested in fitness at all, the right shoe makes all the difference in the world. And at the Brazos Running Company, they're passionate about running and finding the right shoe for you. They'll put you on the treadmill. They'll take a look at your gait. They'll find the right shoe. If you're a heel striker, toe striker, mid-heel striker, whatever it may be, they'll find the right shoe that fits your stride to help you so you don't get injured. They also have Yori clothing there, obviously one of the hottest athletic brands out there. Duck Camp outdoor apparel. They've got turtle box speakers with the maroon accents and handles. They got Stanley Cups. It is the Brazos Running Company, located at Century Square below the Star Cinema Grill in College Station. It is the Brazos Running Company. Hey friends, David Nuño here for Prize Picks. They're back on TexAgs, prizepicks.com/TexAgs. Use the code TexAgs to get $50 once you play in $5 lineups. And Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Football season's here, basketball coming up, baseball, you name it. You go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs and start having some fun watching sports, making some money on there. And you can play Prize Picks in over 40 states, including California and Texas. Remember, they'll give you $50 in lineups once you play $5 lineups on Prize Picks. And they have the new thing. It's called It's Good to Be Right campaign, and they're kicking off the upcoming NFL season with their bold new campaign, It's Good to Be Right. The seasonal long push celebrates the thrills of getting it right, from the perfect prediction to winning your Prize Picks lineups. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. We're back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Got Steve Denton in the studio, and I always forget how, what's the word I want to use? You follow sports. I know you're staying up at 2:30 a.m. watching tennis, but you're also watching football. You live for this.
Oh, I love it. It's great. It's one of the reasons I got into college sports, because it's just kind of my life. I've loved it and watched it since I was a little kid, and and really, especially college sports. It's so much fun, all these great rivalries. And what I love to see is, and we probably don't want that to happen, but I love to see close games.
Yeah.
And I love to see teams rise up and play at their highest level in the important moments. That's what really thrills me, and I love to see that over and over and over.
Well, we got to see some thrilling moments over the last week in tennis. Talk to me about the week it was for you to see your former athletes just all over social media winning there at the Shanghai Masters.
Yeah, a dream come true for us. I mean, you wonder what kind of impact you're going to make on these young men's lives, and to see those guys play at that level for that long against the top players in the world. You know, as I said to you earlier, I had a lump in my throat for about 4 or 5 days getting up every morning to watch those guys play. They actually played on opposite days, so they never played on the same day, so they got to support each other. And they ended up going through this draw, beating all these great players. You know, early in the tournament, Arthur played Zverev, who he had beaten at Wimbledon. And usually the second time you play a top player, that guy's ready to kick your butt. And Arthur was able to beat him. And then he was able to beat Medvedev, who was a former #1 player in the semifinals. And then Val Vachereau shouldn't even have been in the draw, thanks to a kid named Nardi from Italy, who was an alternate. He didn't come, so Val was there, and he got in. He won a couple matches in the qualifying, was a couple points from losing several matches, and kind of just worked his way through and then beat all these great players. And then to be able to play against Djokovic, the GOAT of the tennis world, and never played him before, never practiced with him, and for him to go out and perform against him like that, it was just amazing. And then the guys playing each other in the finals, and how they represented Texas A&M, and how they represented tennis as ambassadors to the sport was just great to see.
I didn't do a good job of setting it up. For those who don't know, these guys are also cousins. Not only Aggies, but cousins.
Yeah, mothers or sisters. I went over to recruit Arthur, I guess around 2015. I saw Arthur for 2 minutes, and I said, I want this kid.
Yeah.
And his mother was a good tennis player. We had a good conversation, and he was going elsewhere to school. But when I went over there, he decided to come to A&M. And then after a year at A&M, I didn't know it. I guess he was testing me out. He said, Steve-O, he said, I've got a cousin of mine that's really good, and I want him to come to A&M. I think he thought after we had done such a good job with him and we took care of him, he wanted his cousin to come with him, and that's what happened. And at the end of Arthur's career, you know, after all was said and done in 2018, when we got to the semifinals, he came to me and he said, you know, please take care of my cousin. And we did. And, you know, it's those relationships. It's what's great. And had this great relationship with both of them, kind of being their American dad here for the last years. And to watch those guys play this weekend was amazing.
You know what I loved too was how much love they gave A&M. Everywhere it was all about their time here. It was great to see that.
Well, they have always, even when they've done something, you'll see them throw up a Gig'em sign, but they always talk about us fondly. And you know, that's what this is supposed to be like, is these guys, you know, when you see players, they don't just take, but they give. And you see guys like that are great ambassadors. That's what you want. And, you know, they're living the dream right now. They're both going to be on the main circuit together. Hopefully indefinitely going forward, because both of them, I think Val went from 204 to 40 and got to be greeted by the Prince Albert last week. And then obviously Arthur went from 50 to 28. And so they're going to both be in there for a while, and I think they're going to really enjoy playing this big tournaments all, you know, together, and hopefully they can, you know, continue this run, gain some momentum, and make all the Aggies proud.
And they aren't the only ones. Rafael had a good week too, right?
Rafael's won 3 tournaments this year. Rafael Perot, he's won 2 back-to-back tournaments. Patrick Gibson got to the finals of a 125,000. We've got, Austin Krychek and Jackson Withrow, both great doubles players. Austin was number 1 in the world. We've had a lot of good guys come through here. I think around the Wimbledon time, we had 6 guys playing at Wimbledon in the main draw, singles and doubles, and then we had another 4 in the next tier down, which is kind of AAA baseball, the challenger level. So we've had a lot of good guys here, so that makes me really feel like that we're doing something right and helping these young players reach their dreams.
Speaking of doing something right, this weekend, hopefully we see a lot of right. The ITAs, talk a little bit about what we can expect.
Yeah, I mean, we have some terrible teams in our region. Only TCU, Texas, and Baylor, plus many others that are really good. And so, obviously, it's a real test for us. It's an opportunity to get a couple guys into the NCAA tournament. I said something the other day. The joke was that we played the All-American tournament a couple weeks ago, and we had 4 guys that played, and you had to get to quarterfinals to qualify for the NCAA individual championship. And we didn't get any guys to the quarterfinals, yet we got 2 guys to the finals of the Shanghai Masters. So it just taken us a little longer to get there. But our guys are excited about playing here, obviously in front of the 12-man, getting to play at home. And we've got some really good teams to play against. And for me, this is early season still. It's a long season, but it's an opportunity to see where these guys are, what we need to work on in their game to kind of get them ready for the spring.
Coach, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, we'll hit a break. We'll come back with Jim Turner, talk about his film review and break it all down. Right now, if your organization or business is looking for an opportunity to engage with Aggies, then check out the Association of Former Students. They bring Aggies of all ages together during their marquee events held throughout the year. We're talking Aggie Ring Day, All Aggie Hullabaloo, and as many other events like The Gathering. There's also many sponsorship and vendor opportunities to get your brand in front of those attendees, and they offer a wide variety of both digital and in-person options to promote your brand. This includes title sponsorship, naming, on-site presence and activation, recognition, social media posts, and much, much more. There's also advertising opportunities in both the Texas Aggie Magazine and the Aggie News newsletter, which are seen by over 230,000 people. So if your business is ready to engage with Aggies, choose a partner with the organization that's been supporting the Aggie Network for over 140 years. For more information on options available through the association, please email sponsorships@aggienetwork.com. It is the Association of Former Students. All right, we're going to actually listen to the Jim Turner interview at the top of the 10 o'clock show. It's TexAgs Live. We're presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. I want to get on my soapbox for a minute, Alex. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Nick, you can join me in this. I want Aggies to chill out with Noah Thomas. I'm sick of seeing like people going after him on social media. Look, the guy was classy when he was here. He chose, we're in a different era. This is not your grandfather's college football. And I know it's hard because I didn't want to see him leave. But for people to keep bringing up his stats and be mean and like, the guy was every time he came in this studio, couldn't have been a nicer, classier guy who represented this university well, and he wanted a change in his life. I think he should have stayed. Yep. All right? I said it at the time. I wish he were still here. What if that kid, I mean, he's not coming back, but what if he wanted to come back, right? Like, you don't want to burn bridges, and I just think, like, we hold ourselves up to this standard, and then sometimes we act like everybody else. Let's not act like everybody else. I don't like that he left, but he left. Be classy. I know most Aggies are.
Yeah.
But, like, people can't wait to put up his stats and, like, bring it up. Nick, I mean, you on the same page?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it just at the beginning of the season, I got it because it was like, okay, yeah, you chose to leave, and here you're not getting any catches at Georgia compared to our guys here. But at this point in the season, like continually harping on it, it's just we're on to bigger and better things. Hopefully he figures things out. I don't know, but it's just a little poor taste to keep poking and prodding.
And by the way, it's okay to bring up some facts. I don't like.
Yeah, when it's fine analysis to say, hey, we brought in 2 transfers who are producing at X level. Noah Thomas there isn't.
But you don't have to make it a mean thing, I guess is my point. Like,
you forget he's hidden behind some great talent. I mean, Dylan Bell, Zachariah Branch, a transfer from USC. I mean, those guys are good. Yeah, really good football players.
They're good. Look, we don't need to make it a big deal. I don't want to go after all Aggies or like. I understand feelings get hurt. Like, I like when people who leave don't do well. Yeah. Right. Like, I remember when Scottie Pippen, who I hated when he was a member of the Rockets, was traded to Portland. I wanted him to score 0 points in every game possible. Right. I understand that. When the Oilers left for Nashville, I wanted them to lose every game. I understand that. I get the fan part of it. I just want us to be classy. That's it. Like, just be a little classy. Let's get a thought in there, Alex, at the Angry Elephant News and Social Center.
Yeah. I have a stat. Okay. The last time the A&M went 7-0 was in the year of 1994. It was about 31 years ago. So, I mean, we're talking about like last week, we were 6-0. Last time we did that was 2016.
How old are you?
I'm 18. So I wasn't even
in 94.
My dad was in his senior year of high school.
I was 18 in 94. That's great. That's awesome. No, I was 17. I was 17 in 94.
Yeah, my dad was 18, senior year of high school.
The reason I'm bringing that up was 31 years ago. It's making me feel old.
Which is crazy.
Thanks, Alex.
That wasn't the thought.
Let's get to 7-0.
Yeah. It's a huge step in the program in the right direction. So I think doing that would be awesome.
Yeah, it would. All right, guys. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to condense the fan show a little bit, not too much. I don't want to hurt those guys' feelings. Okay, I know Brownie gets his feelings hurt. Like, hey, where's my airtime? Dr. Chad's going to be here. Roy May's going to be here. So we'll get those guys. But we're gonna give Jim Turner the opportunity to break down some football. The holidays are creeping up on us, and wouldn't it be nice to have a stress-free Thanksgiving for the entire family where you can enjoy a delicious meal together without stepping foot in the kitchen? Guys, Buppy's will take great care of you. Call Buppy's Catering and Bartending and order their holiday feast and let them do the cooking for you. They've got oven-roasted turkey, cornbread dressing, giblet gravy, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, and homemade cranberry sauce with dinner rolls. And if you want something other than turkey, they've got it all from chicken tenders to ham to beef tenderloin and much, much more. What you need to do is call them up, 979-779-6417. Order your holiday feast for Thanksgiving or order ahead for Christmas, and Buppy's Catering and Bartending will have it ready for you to pick up. Do me a favor. I keep saying that. Eat, drink Buppy's. It's Buppy's. Eat, drink Buppy's.
All right, friends, school's in session with Jim Turner, presented by Paragon Financial Advisors. Aggie-owned Paragon Financial Advisors. If you want financial guidance that truly puts you first, visit paragon-adv.com. Coach Turner, how are you?
Doing fine, thank you. How you guys doing, all right?
Good, I'm great. So, A&M 6-0.
Yeah.
Every week, the stakes get bigger.
Yeah.
We've seen this team in a similar position, not as good, but similar position a year ago. From your eyes, are things different?
Yeah, I think things are different. I think the one thing that stood out to me last week was the offense came together, right? I think the defense have been playing well throughout, other than what everybody was worried after the first couple games, but everybody was just feeling their way out. I don't care about the first couple games because they're just getting their feet underneath them. But I think the defense has played great, and I think in the offense in the last game really come into their own. So, to go up and score like they did in the first two drives. Now, Florida scored the first two drives, well, we know. And so I just think the offense came into their own last week. And so if they can both play like they did last week for the rest of the season, then they're going to do very well in the stretch here.
Greg McElroy says that he thinks A&M is the best team in the SEC because of their dominance on the line of scrimmage. When you look at both sides, do you agree?
I think... I think they're up there with Georgia. I think Georgia, Alabama are two teams that are right there with them. But just to even be mentioned with those two teams right now as a top-tier team in the SEC is a big deal. And I agree with that they're one of the top three teams in the SEC, no question.
So when we were talking earlier, obviously the loss of 8, we're going to play the numbers game, 8 is a big deal, right?
Yeah.
But 4 had a really good game against Mississippi State a couple weeks back. They were committed to the run last week. They didn't get the numbers that we're used to seeing, but you still were impressed.
Yeah, I think their running backs are doing a good job. I think the offensive line's doing a great job. I think that the offense can really attack you from so many different angles. That like 8's a huge part of it, but of course you still have 1, you still have 7, you still have a good group of backs, and then of course you have 10, who's this multi-threat guy that can do all these different things. And so, if 10 can just get on track with some of these deep balls, which he will, if he can get on track with some of these deep balls, I mean, they'll win games by a lot more than they're winning them. Like last week's game was a rough game. Like it wasn't as easy as it came out to be in the end. It was a good football game, until it really turned to me when in the third quarter when Florida was trying to drive, and they got called for the personal foul on the block out of bounds. I've never seen that call in my life. Okay, I'm obviously rooting for the Aggies to win the game, but that call pissed me off because I'm thinking, you tell a guy, right, to block a guy, right? You watch The Blind Side, he drives the guy over the fence, right, and he's the biggest hero in the movie, right? And so if your offensive lineman drove a guy up into the stands, you'd say, that's a great job. I don't even want him thinking about where the sideline is. So the receiver did a great job for Florida on that play, and they called him for the penalty. So, and then it killed their drive. I think that I think that was a better football game than it really turned to look at the end. I mean, even though the Aggies, I thought they really put a lot of stress in saying, hey, our offensive line is going to take this game over, because they were only up by 7 points in the fourth quarter when they were kind of working the clock out. And I heard people talking about it like, hey, man, the game's not in hand yet. But it really was in hand. They were just confident. They put that in the O-line's hands, and that's what they did.
As a coach, the coach's offensive line, that's what you love, right? You want that opportunity.
Yeah, you want that. So that's one of the things you'd be saying to the line. You know what I mean? Like, this is a challenge. This is on you now. And those are things that coaches would say to the line at that time. Of course, the head coach would begin that whole thing by saying, hey, listen, we're going to run the ball right now. Those are the big decisions that a head coach and a coordinator make. What's the theme of what we're going to do at this time in the game? And so, I thought that they did a great job with that, and I thought the line really stepped up and did a heck of a job.
Tell me if these lines connect. The last time A&M went on the road was at South Bend. They gave up 40 points, okay? Yeah. Different A&M team, I think, since then, but let's just throw that out there.
Yeah.
When Notre Dame went to Arkansas, they destroyed them, okay? A&M's defense, I think, is playing at a higher level than Notre Dame. So do we draw any parallels? Are there any connections here in what I'm putting together?
I wouldn't do a lot with that, and I'll tell you why. Because the ship was sinking then. okay, because, you had Sam who was on his way out, and I think Sam did a good job doing the best he could there, but he was on the way out. Everybody knew he was on the way out. There's no way to keep that under wraps, and that was out. So I think there's probably a new life. If you're coaching the Aggies right now, you're not going to fall into that trap. You're going to say they have a new life right now. They are a new team. They just played a good Tennessee team in a great football game, and they come up on the short end of it, but they did it. They ran the ball well. They did some things very well in that football game, and they almost won it. And so that's Bobby Petrino really breathing life into that team, and he's a good football coach. He did a good job while he was there. So, that whole thing being said, I think you're going to go in with a clean slate and say, listen, wipe out the whole season. Don't think about anything that Arkansas has done to this point, and just move forward,
Right.
The thing that kills me about some of the teams that come in here and that have played us is I don't, if I was the AD, okay, and you punted the ball or kicked the ball off to number 7 for the Aggies, I would fire you on the spot. Like, you can't give them the ball. And you saw that. It really did affect the game the other night because the punter was trying to punt the ball out of bounds, and then he kicked that, 25-yard kick late in the game. That's all the effect that 7 has on those teams. And so as long as 7's back there, I think 1 might be one of the best receivers, top 3 receivers in the country. So him and 7 are both at the same, but 1, you can't tackle him.
Yeah.
People can't tell. Like, if you watch him, he's a problem. Like, he's got these rubber legs, you know what I mean? And somehow in these meshes, he comes out of it. And he never stops his legs from moving. So, he's a good player. I think the other thing I saw the other day, another thing that would really piss me off if I was the owner of a team or if I was the AD is, why isn't there a plan to stop Howell on our defense? Like, he is a problem. And you saw him late in the game the other day. Like, he took the game over.
He did.
He legitimately took the game over, running the ball, stopping the run, and obviously on those pass plays, And I've been in situations when you go up against great players, like when I was coaching for the Dolphins, where our left tackle had to go against Mario Williams for the Bills. And I remember just going in as a line coach, and I said, there was a plan for everything, how you were going to help him and all that. And I even told him in front of everybody, I was like, the number one thing you can't do to Mario is to piss him off because he'll just play steady. And I go, because if you piss him off, I said, he will kill you. All right? And so everybody laughed, right? That's funny. Okay. But I said, I'm serious. Just don't piss him off. Right? So play hard, but don't do anything extra. Don't do anything. And sure than hell, late in the game, he did a good job. The tackle did a good job. And then late in the game, our last series, we were going to go down. We were up by a couple points. And then we were going to go down and seal the game. And he came up with a sack fumble. Mario turned it on, and he came up with a sack fumble. But my point is, I just don't understand. There was no plan for them. They weren't chipping Howell. They weren't doing anything to help. Their left tackle, number 58, he just was on his own. And I felt bad for the kid. You have to have a plan for that because there are times when you have a player that can't block a certain guy. And that's a fact. And if you can't do it, you can't do it.
Right.
And so you could just see, he's got this sneaky quickness thing going on. He's a power guy, too, but he's got this sneaky speed coming off the edge. I'm not going to say that he's Von Miller because no one in the world is Von Miller, but he's definitely got some serious talent.
So before we started the segment, I asked you, what about Arkansas worries you? What did you tell me? Do you remember?
What worries me about them?
Bobby Petrino.
Yeah, Bobby. The fact that you got the new coach, just like I said a minute ago, he's just breathed new life into that thing, and he's a cutthroat guy. I don't know him, but you can just see that he's a cutthroat guy, right? He is we're going to win. We're going to win this game in any way, shape, or form. We're going to win this game. I love that, right? So I'm complimenting the guy, right? So. They'll be ready to play. I guarantee you that they'll be ready to play. And he knows the other thing that the reason he'll have them ready anyways. But he knows he could go back in there as the savior and get the head coaching job again. And so this would be a nice story for him. So he's going to come at them with everything he has, and he's not going to leave anything, And he's a good football coach, so he'll have a good plan.
All right, if you are a premium subscriber, keep it here because we're going to have the film breakdown next on TexAgs.com. All right, we're now going to talk a moment for Caldwell Country Chevrolet. They're on Highway 21 and Caldwell online at CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. If you're looking for a selection that won't break the bank, that's the place to go. If you're looking for good customer service, you probably don't even think about it, but you do want it, trust me, especially during the process, after the process, all the things that come with it. Go to Caldwell Country Chevrolet. They have a great selection of vehicles, but the customer service that I'm talking about is it's not just the car buying experience, it's the after part. They have complimentary pickup and delivery for their service customers. They have free oil change for life as long as you own that vehicle, and that's thousands of dollars of savings. And again, the trade-in value you're going to get at Caldwell Country Chevrolet is second to none. What you need to do is make that drive. It's about 15 minutes, the edge of Bryan to the beginnings of Caldwell. A short conversation away, but you'll see the difference when you step on the lot and do business with the great people at Caldwell Country Chevrolet. Highway 21 in Caldwell, online, CaldwellCountryChevrolet.com. All right, we're talking about Burlebo, the heart of Texas, more than an outdoor lifestyle brand. It's products created with you in mind. Currently, I'm wearing the performance polo, the Texas maroon and gray. If you look into it, you've got the state of Texas in gray, and you also got it in maroon. It's one of their highest, most popular sales that they have there. It is really nice. Comfort and versatility. You can wear it in any situation. Quick drying, fits the size. But Burlebo, they're rooted in tradition, fueled by passion for the outdoors. Designs high-quality apparel that works just as hard as you do. So whether you're hitting a workout, enjoying a day of fishing, or cheering on your favorite college team, their gear is made for the athlete, the outdoorsman, and the everyday adventure. And it's really nice. I wore this one to church the other day. People talked about it. Really, my kids were like, Dad, you look pretty good today. From athletic shorts to your favorite go-to tees and performance hoodies, they have everything you want. Check out Burlebo.com and find your new favorite gear. It's Burlebo for the athlete, for the outdoors, and for the family. And we're back. TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Fan Show. Brought to you by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/TexAgs. And once you play $5 lineups, you're going to get $50 thanks to the good people at PrizePicks. They have a Steph Curry max discount going on right now. You just need 1 point to cash in on squares. They also have the free-to-play jackpot. Don't forget to jump in and make every pick in our free-to-play contest where members can compete each week, and every week win from $1 million pot by choosing the correct touchdown scorer for select NFL games. Gentlemen, the world-famous Fan Show.
Buenos dias.
What up?
Well, apparently at least Lowe's famous.
Well, homeboy over here can't go around town with like people not stopping and saying hello. In fact, on the text line, I'm going to read it.
Oh, no.
Roger in Rosehill says, I stand with the Fan Show guys.
Roger, my man.
My man.
Thank you. Thank you.
My man.
Hey, we do this for the people.
In fact, I'll give you Matt Browning's phone number directly after the show. 979-448-21.
We'll travel to fix your roof too if you need us to.
I bet you will.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
I bet you will. Let's go to the Angry Elephant News and Social Center. Alex Schoonover, start us off probably with like a direct question about, third down conversion rate and this and that. What do you have?
All right, Matt, I'm going to start with you today. What's on your mind?
Hey, I don't ever get to go first.
You say that every time you go first.
Yeah, but it's really rare. So, it only happens like 6 times a year.
1 out of every 3, yes.
But, hey, can I brag on this guy?
Thank you.
I saw him at the gym the other day grinding.
We grind.
Your dad was grinding too, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He's grinding. We're health nuts now.
And he, unlike Billy Lucci, looks forward. I touched you way too many times.
It's all right.
He was actually open to suggestion.
Oh, hey, I will say
his range of motion sucked.
So, it was leg day. And I go in there, and I'm not 100. I'm not all in on leg day because I'm just like, oh, I hate leg day. Let's get through it. And of course, Nuño's in there, and he's like, no, you're doing it all wrong. You got to do this. And I'm like, hey. This was Monday. I'm still shaking when I walk right now. So legs are just dead.
It didn't actually happen like that. I know you love when we talk fitness. It was more like I watched him doing it, and I'm like, he's not really bending his knees on a leg press. I think he needs to bend his knees.
It's not really a leg press. It's just kind of a leg stand.
Yeah,
he's doing calf raises. Like, come on, buddy.
Yeah.
Just because I don't work out anymore doesn't mean I didn't spend an entire year like basically in the gym in Iraq.
Leg press is tough for a guy who's like 4'24". Like that's pretty hard.
Yeah, so it's 4'24". That's pretty
doing
good.
The math.
Hey, but I will say, hey, if you're ever at the gym and you need some pointers, David Nuño's your guy. He will get you. He will get down to the muscles. I will tell you that. So, but what's on my mind is great.
We lost Roger.
Yeah. We'll miss you, Roger. So, great weekend. Fantastic weekend. Good weekend of Aggie football this past weekend. I know I'm kicking the dead horse when I say this, but Kyle was electric again. I mean, to go from you expect there to be some drop off after a blackout, but I mean, it's Florida. It was loud, it was wild, it was electric again. It was such a fun atmosphere. That defense, outside of the first quarter was lights out. They were absolutely amazing. To go, 1 to 10 again on third down conversions. I mean, it's mind blowing and
getting to be laughable.
And I'm hoping, and I will say that is one thing that does translate on the road. That kind of defense can translate. Offense doesn't always travel as well as the defense does, but the defense is is really. I mean, our offense played well, but our defense is what's what won these games these last few weeks. And so defense has been just outstanding, and so gives me a lot of hope going into the weekend, and excited about our second road game.
I just Googled, why do people say kicking a dead horse? I was like, that's rude. Why would? And it's to make them go faster, but they're dead.
Yeah, they're dead. So it's exactly. So
that shows you how smart I am.
And we brought Roger back.
You really Googled that?
Yeah.
You really?
It's right there. Why do people say that? Literal meaning.
I thought it was kind of self-explanatory.
I was like, why are they kicking a dead horse?
Yeah.
He's dead.
Not the livestock.
Let him die. Speaking of dead horse, Dr. Chad.
What's on my mind?
It's high expectations.
It is. That's going to be a tough one to follow. Hunter's on my mind because last week I was watching. Someone was giving trouble for the visor. So, hey, Hunter, I'm subbing in, baby.
You're not above 50, so you're fine.
Yeah. And I know my role here. You know, it's kind of like high school. I was on the bench. I come in for a few minutes. Don't lower the play. Keep it here. With Matt here, now I can probably excel a little bit more. But what's on my mind, I was thinking, I watched a lot of Arkansas highlights this week. I wanted to see what they did against Tennessee, Ole Miss. Their offense is scary, just because of what Taylor Green can do when he gets out of the pocket. But I feel like I just love Elko's adjustments, which you mentioned in the second half. Every game we come out and just dominate due to our adjustments. But I would call Notre Dame the last drive. It was kind of like the drive. I would say the Florida fourth quarter, what we did, 8-minute drive, like that was just the most exciting. Because against Auburn, we weren't able to get that first down right before the 2-minute warning. And then here at Florida, it's like we need to get third down after third down after third down after losing Moss. To me, like that's
winning football.
That's winning football. And I think that carries over, that confidence carries over to Arkansas. Give me rain, snow, shine. You know.
Well, they talk about every year. Every year you hear the guys that really know football always talk about you've got to learn to finish games. Right, you got to learn how to finish games, and that's something we didn't do well towards the end of last season. I mean, this is finishing games. Finishing games either on the defensive side, which we've shown that in the Auburn game, and then the offensive side, like you said, during Florida, just to milk that clock, keep getting first downs, to win the game at Notre Dame on the last second toss. I mean, that's different, and that's one of the things that we're seeing that is changing that narrative that we talked about. So,
Roy, what's on your mind, buddy?
I think Arkansas better pray for rain because they're not getting a miracle. I think, and it gets blown out of proportion a little bit, I think, how rain affects the passing game. It doesn't affect it as much as it used to 10, 20 years ago. Just footballs are different. You know, we have dudes wear gloves. Like, it's a little different, right? I think wind affects it more than rain, quite frankly. I keep hearing this phrase, A&M's dialing up the pressure, right? They're dialing up the pressure on defense. But we're not dialing up the pressure. Like, we live in the pressure. Just this defense doesn't have to dial up massive blitzes to be effective. And when you can do that, you free up your linebackers, you free up your safeties and corners. The ability to get home with just a standard rush. You want to talk about defense traveling? Watch the game on Saturday. And I don't like the weather situation just because you start the game and then stop it and start it kind of thing. That doesn't favor anybody. No matter how it goes. But you've got to be excited about this defense. And I get that the Arkansas offense looks good. And the whole Petrino factor, I think, is getting blown out of proportion. If he wants a revenge, go ahead, man. This is not the defense you think it is. So I think, I'm looking forward to this defense shutting down what people think is an absolutely ridiculously explosive offense. Last time we went to Fayetteville, I was there. It was rainy. We beat the brakes off of them. Different team, but I don't care. Give me the Ags all day in this one.
Yeah, Ags all day.
I had a question come up this week, and I figured this would be a good place to pose this.
Therapy, let's go.
Oh, boy.
All right. So let me ask you this. This came up this week. If someone told you, hey, I can guarantee, it doesn't matter what the order is, but you go 2-1 over this next stretch, would you take it right now?
I mean, I'd take it, but I'd rather be 3-0.
Yeah, but no, I mean, there's the possibility. The possibility's there. We could go 3-0 in this stretch, right?
Well,
would you take 2-1 right now?
2-1 almost solidifies you in the playoffs.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, you take it. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't look at any of these games as I don't. And
I did before the season.
Yes.
Right. That's correct.
LSU and Missouri.
I look at Baton Rouge as God, we don't ever win there, but they don't impress me, and we impress me. So
it's more Baton Rouge than it is LSU.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. But I feel like that is such a winnable game now. I feel like every game on the schedule, I can make an argument for why A&M will win as opposed to why they can win. And so we'll see how I feel on Monday after the Arkansas game, because I think it is a test to go on the road. I don't want to undervalue what it is to go on the road in the SEC.
Absolutely.
But I think they're all winnable. And somebody told me the other day, don't, keep saying that we might lose a game or two. Put a positivity in the air. The truth is, we might lose one or two. But I like our chances in every game this year right now, better than I have in any time of being a TexAgs.
Well, just off the bat, let's just run through real quick. Arkansas, I think we all feel good about it. Arkansas is down this year. All right, their defense is not even a wet paper towel.
Yep.
It's got wet tissue. Right, they couldn't stop a nosebleed right now. LSU, I mean, what Nussmeier are you going to get? I don't think their defense is elite.
Well, even last week, I was listening to Reese Davis on ESPN podcast, and they're like, man, Nussmeier really took a step last week. I was like, did he? He threw 2 awful interceptions. He wasn't able to manage the game. So, again, that's where you're right. Like, Nuss has been really inconsistent all year.
But that does not mean I don't have respect for going to Baton Rouge or that program. I recognize all that. I just think if A&M plays their game.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to be on the positive side of this.
So you wouldn't take it. You wouldn't take 2-1. You just let it ride.
You know what? I want to enjoy this journey because we are always so petrified of when the loss is going to come. I just want to enjoy this. We're 6-0. I'm having fun this year.
Enjoy the wins. I mean, Missouri's not the team we thought they were before the season. They're better, but they're not. At least I thought Missouri was going to be a really good football team this year, and they're good, but they're not quite where I thought they were going to be. South Carolina's down. Sanford.
See, I think Missouri's better than I thought because there were so many unknowns with Pribula. With the running game, Ahmad Hardy making that change there. They're like,
well, I'm a big Drakewitz guy though.
Yeah,
like that's one of those things where it's kind of it feels.
He can go to Penn State.
It's right.
Get him
that'd be great. I'm going to put that on next.
Missouri
Let's get that trending.
Game. Yeah.
Well, he reminds me a bit of Elko in the sense that the program's moving forward despite personnel. And so that's where I thought Missouri was just going to be really good, even though they lost a lot of people. And then they come out of the gate, they look good. But then you have down South Carolina, you have your Sanford gimme. And then, you have Texas who, I mean, I can't stand them. I don't know what to make of them. I mean, seriously.
I just think they're one team that we don't know yet. We really don't.
We still don't. 6 games in, I don't even think Texas knows their own identity.
Right, because Arch hasn't looked as bad as people have said, but he hasn't looked as good as people have said either.
With their running game is terrible.
Yeah. But last week was really good.
Yeah, Weisner finally had a game. The offensive line finally got something together.
And they did it against a really good defense. So who are they really? Is maybe Oklahoma that fake team that a lot of people think?
Yeah. I don't. Everything okay over there?
You just broke the mic. You just destroyed it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but I guess going to Arkansas, though, my little opening statement, the offense, but you're right, the defense is just, their defense just.
It's just wrecking crew.
What did OB say this morning? They're not, I don't want to say they're slow, but they're not fast. I mean, they just have so many holes. And I'm loving what Colin Klein is doing with our offensive play calling.
So I'm going to be positive for a second, and I would not take that guarantee. I wouldn't take it.
It was a setup.
I think it's obviously possible. And I don't see a scenario where we don't at least go that anyways, go 2-1 anyways. Right. And so, yeah, I would not take 2-1. If you guaranteed me 2-1 the next 3 games, I wouldn't take it. I would just say, let's let it ride. Like you said, let it ride. Let's see what happens. See? Positive. All positive today.
But you are right. If you go 2-1 here, you got South Carolina.
Yeah.
You've got
at home, which is nice.
Sanford, and you've got Texas, right? Like, I think you're 2-1 at worst in that scenario.
Yeah.
Hopefully 3-2.
10-2 SEC with some of the wins we've got.
Right.
Yeah, you're in.
You just hope there's not a lot of other.
I mean, you might end up in Atlanta, just depending on how this season still shakes out. I mean, we still got half a season to play, man.
Yeah, and again, that's why I think there's a little bit of pause, right? Because we've been in this position before, and now the schedule ramps up because not only are you going on the road, you're going on the road against better teams than you beat at home. Missouri's better than anybody you've faced at home, even though I think the talent at Florida is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Obviously, LSU is better than any team you faced at home.
Yeah.
And
I don't think Arkansas is.
No, Arkansas is not. But I think offensively, they're better than Mississippi State.
Well, yeah, but the one thing we've been talking about is about this team is we win different ways. Arkansas can't win different ways. And so if you can bog them down at all offensively, their defense is putrid.
Yeah.
And I think the way this shakes out, and again, I'll keep hammering this. I love where the bye week's at as well. But the way the order of this, like starting with Arkansas, like it's like getting your feet wet, and it might literally, feet wet in the rain. Yeah,
pun.
But it's like getting your feet wet with the first one against of the 3, the lesser of the 3 opponents
for sure.
And you get that road experience, and because again,
I would take that over at Baton Rouge as the first road game
Absolutely.
at night. Yeah.
Hey, Alex, read us Chase in Houston, who's not usually, but often on the fan show. He's
Chase.
Miss you, Chase. How are you, buddy?
All right. Chase in Houston says this is going to be taken completely out of context because I think A&M is a lock for 10-plus wins right now. But if A&M wins Saturday, then the Texas 8-4 notion is out the window this year, finally, because they aren't losing another game at home this year, and it's another demon Elko has eliminated this year.
I don't know how that's taken out of context. I think it's perfectly in context.
Look, you win this game. This is the first time we've been 7-0 since '94.
Yeah, take that.
That was the lost year, wasn't it? 94? Yeah, there was a
10
probation.
10-0-1.
Probation year.
That's
yeah.
the last time A&M beat LSU in Baton Rouge, 94.
Yep.
So,
So a lot of, we can
So you're
exercise
saying
a
we're
lot
going on
of demons.
probation?
We can exercise a lot of demons.
I don't think they really do that anymore.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Look,
you can.
But again, as I try to drink the Maroon Kool-Aid and then get my BAS, and the reality is we don't know jack, guys, not because we, but injury situations, other teams. I just feel really good the direction we're going. I feel really good on our head coach. I feel that Marcel is undervalued.
Yes.
That's great.
But I got to ask you this.
No.
How do we? No, just the running back room. I think we're all pretty high on it. But how do we feel going on the road without Le'Veon, who is the guy that has made, what is he, the straw that stirs the drink?
It's tough.
And kicks the cow and or the horse.
It is. It's tough. It's tough missing Le'Veon. It really is. But I mean, there is a lot of depth there. I mean, if there was a position group to lose one of your studs, that's one of the better ones, just because we do have some players behind him. Right. Morrow has shown to be really good. Yeah. Ruben Owens has had some big games, and then Amari just being.
People have forgotten about him.
Yeah,
Amari is a savvy veteran.
He played so hard last year when Moss went out, and I think people forget. I think Lucci mentioned this on the show this week, that the offensive line was also bruised in that awful November. Yeah. And so you take Moss out, who was clearly our best player, and last year we didn't have receivers like we do this year. So it's the depth, but also what I liked, Elko last night said the injured players still meet every Friday. They're still involved with everything. Yeah, I love that. Still having Moss in the ear of a freshman going on the road, just saying, hey, you're gonna get more carries. Here's some things to look for. That's where I think Moss can still help out, but at least it's not seasoned. I can see him coming into Texas fresh. Just saying.
Yeah. I would almost argue that the offensive line might be deeper. I mean, we rotate 8 during a game just because we can.
And EJ looked good.
Thank you. See, everybody keeps forgetting about freaking EJ Smith. Like, when we needed him, he just pounded the rock. When we needed to keep the ball and we needed to keep the clock running, he came in and did that. Last year, down linemen didn't have Owens when Moss went down.
Yeah, that's true.
And Mari Daniels looked great. Think about this room now, though. And I don't get me wrong, it absolutely sucks that Le'Veon Moss is out. Like, it sucks. You have Owens, you have Daniels, you have Smith, you have Morrow. Like,
EJ's our fourth. I guess technically he's our fourth running back. I mean, he played great.
He went downhill, which is what I appreciate. We got to hit a break here. Twin Liquors time. Texas family owned since 1937. Your local home for wine, spirits, and good vibes. Celebrate every sip. Twin is here to help you with all your great moments. Take advantage of simply ordering online, or go to twinliquors.com, or get your cocktail fixing and wine delivered with DoorDash and Favor. And they have the deals of the week at Twin Liquors every Thursday. A fresh selection of items ordered at fantastic prices. Shop these deals in-store and online, and they have excellent selection of wine and spirits, but they also host in-store events. Wine lovers are going to love this one here at Twin Liquors. Buy one bottle of wine and get the second identical bottle for $2. That amazing sale is available in-store only on select wines. Shop now through October the 25th. TwinLiquors.com. Go check them out. It's Twin Liquors. All right, we're back here on TexAgs Live, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers Rollo Insurance Studio. The fan show is presented by Prize Picks, and Luke Evangelist is going to play the Prize Picks game, but he's going to tell you a little bit about Prize Picks, because what is it? You get $5 once you play in $50 lineups, Luke?
No, it's actually the other way around. You get $50 once you play
That's
the
what I
first
meant.
$5.
Yeah, we should reverse
Yeah,
that.
getting $5 for playing 50 doesn't seem like a very good deal.
That's not a very good deal. Yeah, I feel like, just like Nuño. Hey now, what's up?
I mean, not much.
How are the standings, man?
Well, it was a really midweek for everybody.
I'll take
David and Roy, and just David and Roy. Y'all were 3-5. Hunter was 4-4, and then Matt Browning was 5-3.
Boom! Look out!
Dr. Chad, your last appearance was 4-4. So everybody is just.
Hey, what's the overall standings for the year?
Oh my goodness! You were making me do math this early.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right,
sitting at
David's
50%.
21-25. Matt, you're perfectly even at 27-27. Something's not adding up.
Oh,
here.
Matt Hurt was unperfect.
Roy May 25-29.
Where's Hunter?
I feel like you're just guessing.
21-25. I mean, it's Matthew Dawson math up here. So
I got you, Hunter.
Well, you were gone when Bronny was here, and so it's the math isn't mathing.
Yeah, the math is.
Hey,
All right, let's get to it. Come on.
Hey, wait. Since Luke is here, I just want to say something real quickly.
Oh, boy.
If that's all right.
You like him?
I went to. Oh, I do like Luke, but I went to the donor. I went to the donor event for the basketball the other day. We sat there and they fed us, and then Coach Bucky comes in. And he gives a little speech, and I'm telling you, when he was done, I mean, I wanted to run through a brick wall. I kid you not, it was outstanding. I mean, that guy, he goes, this school deserves a national championship. He wasn't talking about conference championships. He was talking about winning it all. He said, he even said, we're one of only 2 schools in the SEC that have never gotten past the Sweet 16. He goes, y'all deserve better. And I mean, we're over there just going, yes. So then we got to go down and watch practice. And I know it's hard to kind of change gears from football to basketball this time of year, but man, it was fun. We got to sit courtside, watch a practice. They had to give us a form so we'd recognize all the kids and
a roster. They call that a roster.
Yeah, the roster. So they had to like hand us a piece of paper that had everyone's picture so we'd know who was who.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's a completely, I mean, I didn't recognize anyone. No one. Not the coaching staff, not the players, no one's left from last year. It's a really weird scenario, but, man, it was fun to watch. The precision of them. Basketball is going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. Sorry.
I literally cannot say it any better than that.
Thank you.
You're not going to make it through any brick walls if you keep doing your leg presses incorrectly.
Yeah, I'm going to now. David Nuño got me straightened out.
Right.
Now, I watched the PC from SEC Media Days. He just walked up there and he treated the room like,
Yeah. No, we had national writers come up to us after, and they're like, "Y'all got a good one."
Yeah.
He's unreal. It was so fun listening to him talk, and it really does. It gets
and
you fired
Luke,
up
great
for
job on the coverage. I appreciate it.
And Olin Buchanan did well too. But I appreciate
OB got 2 questions in there.
Just take some credit.
Thank you so much.
It's all you.
How about somebody who's been getting a lot of credit lately, and that's Trinidad Chambliss? Why don't we start this game?
Well done.
This guy.
The quarterback at Ole Miss, they're playing at Georgia, more than or less than 250.5 passing yards.
Ooh. They're at Georgia?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going less. I think this is a statement game for Georgia to go, hey, wait, we're still Georgia. And I think they're going to play really well. So
More than.
I'm going to say less than.
I'm going to go with less than. This is his first road SEC.
That's a good point.
Between the hedges. Yeah, less than.
Yeah, I think the national narrative, the more people get tape on him, the more they're figuring out. But I'm still going to go more. Because I don't think Georgia's defense is what people expect Georgia's defense to be.
That's a good
split
point.
on the table.
Arch Manning, more than or less than 223.5 passing yards. And they've got another tough road game. They're going at Kentucky.
That was a joke.
It'd be tough if it was in Rupp.
Hey, I will tell you, though, and I've said this a couple times this week, I don't think Kentucky's going to win. But Kentucky finds a way to win.
They do this.
A game every year at home. You're like, wait, they have no business winning that. They just shut them down.
That's why Stoops is still there. So
Well,
that and his
and his
buyout.
buyout.
So,
What was the number again?
223.
223. He had like 200, I think, against.
I'm gonna do a spike pick. I'm gonna say less. This is purely out of spite. This is not me thinking this through. Very good.
I want to win pick'em, and I also think I think it's going to be more because Texas cannot get the running game going. Even though last week they showed glimpses, but I feel like Kentucky's going to make Arch throw, and so he's going to throw a lot, so more.
Do you even need me to answer this out loud?
Yeah, does Roy? He gets exempt from this.
We know what you need. We know what you're going to pick. Carson Beck, more than or less than 241.5 passing yards, hosting Louisville.
That's right.
I like that. I like that. That's more.
So 241?
Yeah.
That's more.
Yeah, I'll take more.
I'm going to go more. Yeah, more.
More.
Feel good with more.
More.
Across the board.
Across the board. Ty Simpson, more than or less than 288.5 passing yards versus Tennessee.
I don't even have to, it's more.
God, Tennessee's been so bad on defense.
Ty
I
Simpson-
got to go more.
Ty Simpson's playing so well, too. That's a bad combo. I'll go more.
I'm going to go less. I'm going to go less.
Interesting.
Nice.
Everyone else going more?
Yeah.
All right, we've got Sawyer Robertson from Baylor, more than or less than, get this number, 310.5 passing yards at TCU. If you need a game to watch and you want to see 85 points scored, watch TCU Baylor this week.
Big 12 football.
More than.
More.
Less than for me, I think.
Really?
Yes, less than for me. TCU, just watch out.
You know nothing about TCU other than where they're located.
They were
Do you
upset-
even know where TCU is?
Yeah,
I'm going
in Texas.
I'm going less as well. Just a gut.
Wow,
Just the gut feeling.
No, I
Really?
just think
There's a lot of research you've done on this game.
I just
Also,
say
when
it's
he
all
said-
gut
he said the name,
feeling.
I was like,
That and it's hey, this is another spike pick.
Marcel Reed, more than or less than 237.5.
Oh,
passing or total?
Passing.
More.
Keep in mind, y'all
The
know what
weather-
that forecast looks like. They may not be throwing the ball a lot.
More. Going more.
Less.
I'm going less. I'm going less. Nuño?
More.
I like it. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I don't think it's a good pick, but I'm going to go
I just
with
think
more.
we're gonna run.
Because
I like
I'm
the ball.
thinking that all this weather talk, every time we talk about weather, it's always the opposite. And their secondary is atrocious.
Their secondary
Yeah, but
is
so is
really
their
good.
defensive line. I mean,
Yes.
why even test their secondary?
Because all it takes is those two long passes to Mario Craver. Bam, you're there. You're halfway there.
You get a 3 touchdown lead in the first half because you're throwing the ball. Then you grind it out. Yeah, more. He's going
I
more.
just see Elko just
All right,
running.
we've got two more.
Oh, what?
Oh.
Real quick, Eli Stowers, tight end of Vanderbilt, more than or less than 52.5 receiving yards, hosting LSU.
LSU.
Hey, we like Eli. He's our guy. I'm going less though. Still,
I'm going to go more.
I'll go more.
Yeah, Eli, he's going to show out because they're, the crossing routes, wheel routes, they're going to make sure he gets the ball.
He's been fun to watch.
Less.
Wow, David's a hater. Finally,
No, I'm just looking at this. 29 yards, 45 yards, 73, 68, 22.
Yeah, but it's prime time, baby.
can we add him into the Aggies that have transferred quarterback?
People are nice
Aggie
to him.
quarterbacks that have transferred.
I think people are nice. to
No, but I'm saying like that's why we're QBU. All of our transfer quarterbacks
Yeah.
are starting
QBU.
somewhere.
We're so good, our QBs can play tight end.
Yeah.
one final one, and then I'll head out of here. Ruben Owens, more than or less than 95.5 rushing yards.
More!
Yeah, I will go full Aggie here. More. He gets a full dose.
Bro.
I think we're spreading it. I think we're spreading it between 4 running backs. I really do. I'm saying less.
I want to say more because I think we run for 300 plus.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm saying
Even
less just 'cause
spreading
I
it
think we're gonna
around, he can
spread
get
it out.
95.
Yeah.
Dude, he had 140 on Mississippi State. Yes, it's more than.
Get out of here, Matt.
Yep.
Such a hater.
I want all 4 of our running backs to get 50 yards or more. That'd be awesome.
That'd be less than 300.
Whatever. We're gonna throw over a lot too.
He's
okay?
he said more. 50 or more is, it's
Fine.
90
Take 200. Hey, I'd take 200 yards rushing right now.
Guaranteed.
That's a
Hey, have
W.
y'all seen that Cade Klubnik may not play against SMU? Would that be like the final nail in Dabo's coffin?
Yeah.
No.
Dabo's going to get fired.
Not fired, but like that would probably be the end of their season, and then the team gives up, and who knows how many more losses they have on that schedule.
Right, but like you're not going to can him because his quarterback got hurt. Unless he ran him back out there after an injury, but again.
But I can see Clemson letting go of the rope if they lose SMU.
I don't know. Clemson's mid.
I mean, yeah, that's what I think too. Like that team, when you come in with such high expectations, like what happened with Penn State, the moment they realize their season is over and they have no promise to win a national championship, like I
still think Penn State was too quick to fire.
Yeah, he was in the playoff last year.
Yeah.
I mean, there were nothing before him, and I mean, I think he's done a good job.
Just Clemson and Dabo, it's kind of one of those things. Like he'll just be there until he's done.
Hey, the SEC shorts from this week was really funny. They said They said the guy goes, yeah, hey, Penn State just fired their coach, $49 million buyout, and the Aggie goes, amateurs.
I'll give a round of applause.
Yeah.
That was my favorite joke.
Yeah.
The holidays are creeping up on us, and wouldn't it be nice to have a stress-free Thanksgiving? How about we talk about Buppies? That's what I'm doing here. Buppies Catering and Bartending. They have this holiday feast, and they'll let them do the cooking for you. They can get you hooked up with oven-roasted turkey, cornbread dressing, giblet gravy, sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole. Come on, America. Homemade cranberry sauce with dinner rolls.
There you go.
You don't do dinner rolls anymore.
You don't either.
You're out. I eat dinner rolls from time to time.
You wouldn't eat giblet gravy.
No.
It's giblet. It's not giblet.
I don't know. I'm not American, even though I was born here. Call 979-779-64. I am an American, but just not an American.
Very American.
979-779-6417. Order your holiday feast for Thanksgiving or order ahead for Christmas. And Bubby's Catering and Bartending will have it. Is giblet for reals? I don't know. We don't eat giblet at the Nuño house. Eat, drink Buppies. Giblets.
I'm going a full blown.
What do you think about the show so far? I mean, we're just chatting away, cameras on.
He's
nobody cares.
He's a quiet little fella.
Well, hey,
Well, Browning's over here talking about Kirby Smart turning around a Georgia program that was in the doldrums of winning 10 games a season for a decade and a half under Mark Richt.
I mean, hey, they've been winning national championships since 1980. Can you imagine what
was that voice?
That was Brad Nessler.
Hey, is that a mockingbird? Hey, is that a mockingbird? Is that a mockingbird?
I mean,
What we got, Nuño?
I've run out of things. I wanted you to go on your diatribe about the right guy, though.
The right guy is important. So I'm telling you.
Elko's
Are we
the right
on?
guy.
Are we on?
We've been on for.
Don't worry about when you see yourself. We've only been doing this show for how long?
I know. So So no, we were arguing off camera that Dr. Chad doesn't like Kirby Smart. I actually like Kirby Smart, and my reason why is very selfish. But he is the one that you can look at and go, all right, that's hope. You want the one guy right hire in the right position can change.
You said turn around the program.
You did say turn around.
But
hold on, let me give you another one.
Georgia was.
Let me give you another one to consider, and his name's not in vogue right now. Dabo Sweeney basically did that at Clemson.
Those are the things that a program like A&M who has all the tools necessary. It's just always been the right guy. That gives me hope that if Elko is the right guy, or if we ever get the right guy, then boom, there it is. We have every opportunity to be the Georgias and Clemsons.
Another one,
but we better do it now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like this has got to be a 10-win season, right?
This has got to be a 10-win season. Move the program forward. In the eyes of recruits, in the eyes of not the national kind of perception, it matters and it doesn't. Just depending on how you want to argue that, but it does because we have preseason rankings that unfortunately fold into actual rankings.
Right.
So it matters.
It's the quietest top 4 SEC team ever.
I just don't want to hear 1939, 1998, 2020 doesn't. You know what? Here's 10 wins. Here's a roll to the Final Four or win it. Get to the championship game, win it. I just want to change the talking points.
Change the narrative.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think we've already seen that from last year to this year as well.
Hey, Pate redid his bracket.
He has us losing to Oregon in the Final Four.
Yeah, but he did have us playing Tech.
Yeah,
that would be
that would be pretty cool.
That'd be wild.
Tech.
He has beaten him too.
Field.
Nuño, to your point though, just the SEC, how wild it is right now. We look at the games this weekend. I'm like Georgia, Ole Miss.
What a great slate!
Yeah, this is kind of
a great slate this weekend in the conference.
The SEC is all over the place, and this is our chance to keep being consistent.
Burnt Branch just says Kirby's middle name is not so. I'll let you kind of marinate on that. Thanks so much for watching. TexAgs Live, mañana on the show, the McKinney brothers, and more. Who else? Oh, SEC Mike with a take or two. We'll see you then.